had a home run?
Or prison.
Yeah. Or prison?
Yeah.
I bet she doesn't let you, Joe. No. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us on what is a beautiful sunny day here on the south coast of the UK. And yet again, for a Liam and Joe show, we're in front of the table instead of over there. We'll return to normal next week, I promise. We'll be back in the chairs so Joe can slum it and drink his Monster and etc. But we have a different day of streaming for you today. We still have a sort of Liam and Joe show, but it's more a John and Joe show. And then we have a game for you people tonight. But it's not 40k, nor is it new AOS. And this is something where someone said to me last night, with your knowledge of 7th edition, does it not make more sense for you to play? I was like, there's no way I'm taking this from Joe. He loves Horus Heresy.
I fucking love it so much.
So what we're going to do today is very similar to Tuesday, apart from I'm going to fuck off behind the deck in just a moment. We're going to do some learn to play Heresy stuff for an hour and a half today, where we can get over the core mechanics and the core rules. So a lot of you will have never played 7th edition. So you can get used to some of the changes that are actually quite drastic changes from 8th, 9th and 10th edition in terms of things like ballistic skill and weapon facings and armor values and all that kind of stuff. So we'll go over some of that today for an hour and a half. We'll get you sort of the basics, hopefully, so that you understand the basics. More importantly, Joe understands the basics. Because then tonight at 7:30, we're going to go live with Ultramarines versus Alpha Legion for our first ever, and probably first only for a while, at least, Horus Heresy live game. And that's because we have the amazing John here in the studio with us, of YouTube fame. Probably more famous than most YouTubers.
Yeah. Toilet dice.
Chapter Master Ballsack.
Chapter Master Hawk 2.
Yeah.
That's my favourite.
There's many. Many alter egos. Yeah. John is a fucking monumental Heresy fan. Both of these armies are John's armies. You've seen the Alpha Legion before because Joe played them as Chaos Space Marines in 40k.
Yep.
And he bought the Ultramarines all the way across the pond just so we could stick these on the table to play Horus Heresy for you wonderful people.
Yeah.
So big shout out and a big thank you to John for coming all this way and also teaching us Heresy and facilitating us playing Heresy on the game on the channel.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, Heresy is kind of based off of 7th edition, but with some fine tuning, and that was my favourite edition. So this could be a lot of fun. It could also be shit. We'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're happy for me to leave you to get on with it? They're literally going to start playing a game with limited models. You can talk through what you've got on the table and why.
Yeah.
I'm going to disappear over there and get off camera for a bit.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Good.
Okay. So obviously it's Alpha Legion and Ultramarines. The idea is that we weren't going to bother with points because learning, that was our idea, wasn't it? So we choose a character each. We have a basic infantry squad, an elite squad, a Dreadnought, a vehicle, and then a fast-moving unit. So John has got Assault Marines, and I've got a unit of bikes. And it basically means that we can learn the different mechanics now, so when we go into the full game later, we'll have everything. And we're doing Legion traits, that's right, we said?
We're going to do the Legion traits, not rights of war.
But not rights of war. But we'll do this tonight. And then tonight we'll have Primarchs, we'll have more tanks, we'll have more big things, we'll have a full-size game, and we'll go through all the rules.
That's right.
But this is like a refresh. This is me learning, and we're passing it off as content.
That's exactly what we're doing.
Is what we're doing. Yeah.
That's exactly what we're doing.
We're multitasking.
Yeah.
We're also warming John up to camera, right?
Yeah.
A little bit.
But not your first time on stream.
No, I did sneak in on Tuesday.
I do like the fact that...
you did get a hug.
I did, yeah, I did. I like the fact that John is the only one wearing channel merch as well.
I know. Yeah. I'm impressed.
Well, it's one of the few things that still fits me. So.
But my T-shirts should arrive soon. I had a dispatch notification.
Today?
Yesterday.
Okay.
So hopefully it should arrive today or tomorrow.
Oh, I didn't wear my my Tau T-shirt under here. I've got my LVO on.
Oh.
So.
You got to represent though.
He also refuses to buy the Lictor T-shirt, Joe.
Well, I got kids.
The older ones,
and I care about my children.
The older ones will understand and find it funny, and the younger one will just.
But
be
I don't want
alien.
my older kids to understand why it's funny.
That's true.
I've got daughters, Joe.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Don't let Joe near them.
They live in the basement.
it's a good thing an ocean separates us.
Yeah. as you can tell by John's crazy accent, he's not from England.
No.
That's right, he's from America.
I'm from Balmore.
Balmore.
As Luce told me, she recognized the accent from when the Key Bridge fell in the harbor.
Yeah.
And they showed the news reports. I do not have an accent. You all have an accent.
I mean, you do.
I do not have an accent.
You actually even have a Baltimore accent as well.
No.
You do.
But from what I've learnt though, is that American people do the best on screen.
No, I'm done. Play with yourself.
I do find that the American accent is best suited for intros and talking. So when the guys were over from Titans, when Adrian does his intros. I'm like, wow, that's a professional. Right there.
Well, so Adrian and I had this conversation. When we were doing shorts, Adrian's like, damn, shorts sound so much better in a British accent.
Yes.
I was like, no, they sound so much better in an American accent.
No.
We have this whole like back and forth.
British accents, particularly your types of accents, sound very authoritative and very refined to our ears. Oh. At least to mine.
It's because we used to tell you what to do.
That's right.
I should go to America and be a king.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we recently celebrated a holiday where we told you where to fuck off to.
Yeah. They're like, we'll sink your tea, off you pop.
That's
All right. So we have deployed the armies. We went for 24 inches away to start the action a bit quicker.
That's right.
Was the idea.
We're in a hammer and anvil situation.
Yeah. We're 24 inches-ish apart. There's a big line on the bottom of the
That
screen.
camera's broken.
Could they see the fuzzy line?
I didn't do
definitely
it.
see the fuzzy
I
line.
didn't do it. You can't blame
Okay.
me. I did not trip over that camera earlier
So
today.
we do have dice. I'm going to get rid of these for display purposes. I'm going to show them here. But what I do have is this handy dandy reference sheet, which will tell me how to do some things. And then the rest of my reference sheet is your brain and this cool folder, which was clearly made by someone who does D&D.
What I forgot to talk about as well, Jay, I'm going
Yeah.
to press the button now and you can do the bit you do.
Oh yeah, we have some sponsors. Like and subscribe. That's not a sponsor. Just
We
do it.
don't do sponsors on the Live Joke Show, but we do need to do this.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
Yeah.
All right. It helps the algorithm gods, pushes it out to more people, shows us that you're watching. Right. It's part of the screen's gone black.
No, yours hasn't, don't worry.
Has it gone black?
okay.
They can still see.
They can still see me.
I'm playing.
Right. You've come here for high quality, sophisticated stuff. It just says please insert webcam.
And now it will see
They can see a fuzzy screen. It's all very fuzzy. Fuzzy fuzz. Right?
Look at you panicking.
I am
Don't worry.
panicking. Because the problem is, right, because I'm a Neanderthal and I know nothing about computers, my brain goes, everything that's happening on the screen is what they can see.
Yeah.
And when that screen goes black or turns blue or I just randomly see flamingos on it, I'm like, the internet has died. The whole planet is fucked.
Yeah.
Right? But no, it seems to be all right. So like and subscribe, that's really helpful. We don't do sponsors. ! Element, go buy Scaventide though.
Oh, yeah. We haven't actually, through our link, we haven't sold many copies of Scaventide.
Haven't we?
We've sold a few.
Even after our great game yesterday.
Element also, if you buy Scaventide from them, stick in a whole sticker pack as well. Yeah.
A whole sticker pack.
I think it's all Element stickers, but yeah, you get a sticker pack.
and you get sweets as well.
Yeah.
The things of rock.
Yeah.
So very quickly, as John has explained to me, the Legion trait for the Alpha Legion is -2 to your range when being shot at.
That's right.
So if you have a 36-inch range gun, it becomes 34.
That's right.
If it's 12, it becomes 10. I don't think it's that powerful, really.
However, it does also limit your charges to -2 as well.
That's very good. Mm-hmm. I like this.
Effectively, the entire army is 2 inches further away from mine.
It's like Tanglefoot grenade.
That's right.
Across the entire thing. And the Ultramarines one is...
Any unit that fires at one of his units, if another unit is within 6 inches, gets +1 to hit.
Nice. Ooh. It's very good.
Like
it's
coordinated fire.
It's like how Tau should be.
Yeah.
To be less complicated.
Yeah, it represents the Ultramarines tactically, targeting and whittling down.
Does that mean that a lot of Ultramarine armies kind of lean towards a more gun line in terms of playstyle?
They can, but they also have one of the best combat units in the game, which is the Invictus Suzerain.
We'll see those
And
tonight.
the jump pack specialist troops, whose name I can never pronounce.
Okay.
So,
They'd like to throw in.
We'll see
random
those this
crazy-
afternoon.
Yeah. So we're going to roll off now
or this evening.
to see who goes first. I'm assuming it's still just the one dice.
It is.
Yeah.
However, and we're doing things a little out of order. We'll do it properly tonight.
Yeah.
But there is the concept of seize the initiative in Heresy still.
Okay.
So let's roll to see who goes first.
I shall roll a 6.
And I roll a 1.
Okay.
Now, in a normal game of Heresy, that means you could choose to set up first or second.
Yeah.
And if you choose to set up second,
Yeah.
you could attempt to seize the initiative.
Okay.
So we're going to assume you chose to set up first.
Yeah.
In which case you would have set up your entire army.
Yeah.
Then I would set up my entire army.
Yeah.
And then I would attempt to seize the initiative
I like setting up a whole army.
on a 6.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
I wish you'd roll a 6. Then it was like perfectly streamlined then.
No.
So now I get to move all my stuff first.
That's right.
There's no command phase in this game.
There's no command phase, so for Heresy, the names of the phases are very similar.
Yeah.
Right? There's the movement phase,
Yeah.
the shooting phase, the charge phase, and the fight phase.
Yeah.
which all sound very familiar, but there are no concepts of command points, there are no concepts of strategy.
So armies that have a lot of magic, a la Thousand Suns,
Yes.
is there magic stuff done in the specific phases that the abilities
Yes,
should be used?
much like they've changed the psychic powers in 10th edition,
Yep.
they are now cast when they tell you to cast them.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to move. So bikes move 12, because that's what they used to move?
Those bikes move 14.
Okay. We're
gonna
going
get
to
moving stuff, Joe,
I'm
yeah?
going to move some stuff. I've been told that Space Marines, because they're genetically enhanced super soldiers, move 7 now.
What I am going to do, Joe, I know it's a bit different for the Liam and Joe show, but because we're kind of running this like a sort of battle report whilst we're learning the rules, so we jump into chat.
Oh, yeah.
We say thank you to Evan, Kev, and Just Jupiter for 1 gifted membership.
What, they all combined to get just the one?
Thank
or one
you,
each?
David Roberts, for 1 gifted membership.
Thank you.
You're all heroes.
You're beautiful beasts.
A big shout out to Aaron 582 Railways, who became a Haskell tier member.
all on his own?
All on his own.
Oh, what a
Haskell
hero.
tier member, what a legend. And then we say a huge shout out to Brandon Lagasse,
Like I say.
Zodiac A17, and Evan Tamanello,
Yeah.
who all gifted 5.
Oh, my God.
And then Rossonero 7847 gifted 10.
Oh, my God. I hope that you all go to an event, much like I did last night. I went to a school event with my children. I didn't just turn up. And they were singing and dancing. And there was free food. And they had this it was like a Swiss roll, but instead of cream in the middle, it had cream cheese and salmon. Oh, it was delicious. Hope you get to experience that.
Do you hope they experience everything that you experienced because of those cream cheese and salmon film rolls, Joe?
I mean, I could have done with the children singing and dancing at me for 2 hours. I could have done without that. I just had the free food.
Would you still eat as much knowing what you knew afterwards?
Probably not. No.
No.
Because my body apparently now I'm old, because I know 400 years ago, I would be nearly dead, and my body's not designed to process the food that we have now. My body doesn't like cheese. Apparently. And when you eat what is essentially an entire Christmas Swiss roll log of cheesy salmon, it does things to your bowels.
Yeah.
As we all know, I've had experiences of those in roadsides. So that happened.
Yeah.
That happened. But it's fucking delicious, mate.
Thank you, Dave, for the 5. He says, is it true Big Daddy John on a tour in the UK in the 1980s sired a Liam, Joe, and a Kyle? It's like spot the difference.
It is. You are if we had Kyle here, it'd be like a family photo.
Yeah.
We should all get Christmas. You come back at Christmas, we'll have Christmas jumpers on.
We could
we could do a card.
Yeah.
We could do a family card.
Big shout out, Liam Russ.
They're all really fucking funny guys.
Big shout out, Liam Russ, for the 2. Tonight's stream will be the best stream. Thank you, Lehman. And then Nurgle Matt, thank you for the $7.77. Nurgle bless. I've met this guy. I'll actually listen. Cheers. Fucking John, stop
No,
it.
if you want to listen to anybody, you listen to Nurgle Matt. He has the best.
He has the sexiest voice.
He has the best voice.
He has the sexiest voice.
Oh
Joe.
my God, he's got the radio voice.
Yeah. His
It's
voice
awesome.
is like,
What-
it's like
what-
caramel.
Really?
Yeah.
Like smooth jazz, at 11 o'clock
Smooth
at night
jazz, yes.
kind of voice. Yeah.
If he hosted a late night smooth jazz radio
Yeah.
show,
100%. Yeah, best show in the world.
yeah,
I don't even like jazz.
yeah.
Someone else has gifted 50, Joe.
Have they? He's got his laptop here,
I know.
and he's pretending to be looking at profiles.
No, I was still looking at porn.
Oh, okay. It's a quite afternoon.
Yeah.
Gifted 50 again. You were drinking today, weren't you?
Very much so.
Yes.
And Stick Monkey, thank you for 5 gifted.
It's after 5 o'clock here, right?
Yeah, technically.
Absolutely.
Always.
Yeah, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Don't worry, chat.
Definitely.
We're taking them out for dinner.
So a Dreadnought, can it advance?
Yeah.
It moves 8. How does advancing work in this game? Like 40k? You just roll a dice and you add that to it.
No. What you do is you use the model's initiative
Yeah.
as its
4,
run move.
which is like all Space Marines, isn't it? Pretty
Yes.
much.
Yes.
So it moves 8 plus 4, 12.
But it will not be able to fire and it will not be able to charge.
No, it's doing what it should do.
So it just runs 4 in Heresy? Mm-hmm. Okay.
But it's faster than 40k because the 40k ones move 6.
Is run always a flat 4, though?
Well, it depends on
No.
your initiative. Because you're initiative 5, you get plus 5.
Yeah.
So there'll be
Oh.
like jump. There are jump troops that are initiative 5, aren't they? So they could move 12 plus 5, so they move
Yes.
17.
That's cool. I like that. I'm into it.
Yep.
But like Space Marines. So one thing I really like about Heresy is Space Marines move 7 to represent the fact
Yes.
that they are genetically enhanced super soldiers in power armor. Not the same as a guardsman and a Sister of Battle
Yeah.
and a Tower Fire Warrior.
What is also interesting is when you charge, if your movement value is of a certain level, you get additional inches to your charge. So for example, the Dreadnought moves 8 inches, will get +1 to its charge. The bikes, which move 14 inches, will get +3 to their charge.
Everyone likes extra inches.
That's right.
Or do with extra 3. And my Terminators, right, because in Heresy, Terminators have different armor types.
That's right.
So you've got Cataphracti, Tartarus, and the very rare Maximus. Is it Maximus?
Indomitus.
Indomitus.
Yeah, which is what we know as modern 40K.
Yeah. But they have different types. So
That's
Tartarus moves faster than Cataphracti.
So Tartarus will move the normal 7.
Yeah.
Cataphracti will move 6, representing that it's a heavier type armor with a better invulnerable save.
Boop. Right, so we're just going to go 6 over here.
Tartarus only has a 5-up invuln. Cataphracti has a 4-up.
Like that. I've moved my stuff now. That's what I've done. Right, I'm going to shoot you with my guns now. So they've advanced. They've just kind of cautiously moved forward.
That's right.
They've just advanced. He's just ran at you because he's here for a fisting. So all I've got is the saber.
That's right.
Right. So and that's what guns do we have on a saber?
So there are 2 weapons that it has. We're
Yeah.
going to assume that it doesn't have the missiles,
Okay.
which are an additional add-on, because
Yeah.
in Heresy, you can buy war gear for points.
Oh, don't. Don't.
Just rubbing it in the wound.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rubbing
Why
it
are we
in
a
the
Heresy
wound.
channel?
Well, because no one watches.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's why
that's-
we're not a Heresy. But I think if we do this like irregularly,
Yeah,
it'll be fine.
once a year. That's
I
enough.
think we should do it more than once a year because I'll have forgotten the rules by the next time we play it.
This is true.
Joe will forget them by tomorrow, John. That's the problem.
I forget the rules and I play every week.
Yeah.
So
So I'm going to target.
so you have 2 weapons.
Yeah.
You have the autocannon
Yeah.
and you have the heavy bolter.
Okay.
The autocannon is sort of a medium-sized weapon for lightly armored vehicles and heavily and high-toughness troops.
Yep.
The heavy bolter is obviously for troops.
And I'm going to assume that the heavy bolter is still 36-inch range.
Yes.
Right. And we started 24 away. So oh god,
And can you split fire?
No.
you can't. It all has to go the same thing.
Well, for all intents and purposes for this game, you cannot. There are instances with vehicles where you can with different sponsons and things like that, but we'll go into that tonight.
So I'm going to shoot them into.
But you have firing arc still, right?
Yes. In this case, it's a center line firing arc, so the vehicle will effectively be able to fire along the profile of its width straight ahead.
Yeah. So basically, I have to shoot the Dreadnought. It's kind of like a stug.
It's almost like it's an actual kind of tabletop role-playing game. Isn't
I know.
it? Rather than
For those who like World War II German tanks.
So you wanna
it's
shoot the
basically a
Dreadnought?
Stug. Yeah, I'm going to shoot
Okay.
the Dreadnought now. So the heavy bolters have more shots.
It has 4 shots.
Has
in
4
Heresy.
shots now. And I am Blizzard Skill 4.
Your ballistic skill 4.
Why are you laughing?
Stick Monkeys is super chatted. Quote, why aren't we a Heresy channel? Quote, see Pardo's viewing numbers for more details.
Dick.
I have hit you thrice.
That's a great super chat.
We have such a thing called toughness values in
That's
this
right.
game now, right? And my strength is 5.
Yes.
Your toughness is,
7.
which means, according to this sheet here, I wound you on a 6+.
That's right.
Right? I have wounded you no times.
None.
Right? And then the sabers autocannons.
Oh wait, you don't get a reroll because it's heresy.
Oh, I love it. I'm ready.
Unless you're an Iron Warrior.
We'll talk about that later.
Oh, fuck. I want Iron Warriors. Right. And then the autocannon. What does the autocannon shoot? What is that?
2 shots.
2 shots.
Twin linked.
So that means reroll hits.
That's right.
All right. Because they changed Twin Link in 40k Heresy.
They changed it in 40K.
They're the same, but
we
different.
kept it the same in heresy.
So I hit you on 3s. I've missed, but then I get to reroll. Less rerolls.
2 hits.
Yeah.
Strength 7.
So strength 7,
Rending 5 up.
toughness 7. So 4s. 'Cause it's
That's
the
right.
same. Right. And you said rending.
Rending 5 up.
So if I roll a 5+, it gets rending, which is AP 2.
That's right.
Right. I've rolled neither. Nothing has happened. My turn is done.
Sean has corrected Stick Monkey. He says it's viewing number when it's singular.
It's a good thing
Guys.
Pardo likes you, isn't it? Because
We love Pardo. He's amazing.
Yeah.
He's an
I'm
absolute-
done now. I've shot my load of tank. And now you may move and do your things. Because I can't charge, because I
Right.
advanced.
Because
So
even
we-
with even with the modifiers, you can still never charge more than 12
Yeah, so you can't declare a charge outside of 12 inches.
That's right.
Which is so...
But it's just move, shoot, charge, fight. That's it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
The good old days.
Okay.
I'm done now.
I'm into
Keep it simple.
Yeah. So John's going to move his stuff now.
Yeah.
And then you can tell us more about the abuse that other channels
That's
get.
it. That's all we've had so far.
Oh.
We are on 85 members, Joe.
Really?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Oh.
You're welcome.
Brandon, thank you for the 5. Says, thanks to your guys' hype for new Age of Sigmar, I went and bought a spearhead for my FLGS. Damn cheeky bastards. I'll take it. I had more Sylvan F stuff turned up, Jay.
I know.
After you told me that you wanted 2 Flesh Eater cot boxes, what I did was I completely ignored you and bought Sylvan F stuff instead.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to do an order from Element for general hobby supplies in terms of paint and paintbrushes. Yeah. The tips of my Artis Opus brushes just disintegrate after about a month's worth of solid painting. Yeah. So the bristles are still there; they're just flat on the end. So I basically have to order a new brush.
Brush soap at all?
No,
that's a problem. Cass, thank you for the tea. When did Kyrgios' American cousin visit?
We're all cousins here. We're all kind of from the same gene pool. Yes, I need to order some. I need to order some paint. I need to order some new brushes, and I'm probably going to get myself the Cities of Sigmar ogre guy with the sniper on the top.
Well, I mean, paint,
because he's cool as shit.
Paint and brushes are 100% a business expense, and the Sigmar army's basically been bought by the channel anyway as a channel expense. So we might as well buy that for you too.
And then I'll add some more stuff on top of that.
Well, that's not how that works.
But what if it's more Sigmar?
It depends on what it is.
What if it's Archeon?
If we can justify it, Heresy is the best as Ma 5 TS.
Yeah. Does this also extend to places like Forge World?
What?
Like business expense?
It depends what it is, Joe.
What if it's the Night Haunter and his sexy Terminator friends?
Well, it's possible.
They're being all
I have to be
sexy,
careful.
like,
There's such a thing as cash flow and budget management, which I feel like is not something you'd be very good at.
No, I would be great at it if it was my own money.
And it was infinite.
Yeah.
Bobby, sorry, thank you for the $10. The legend is here. It's called you a legend, Joe.
I need that pick me up every once in a while. So John has moved.
Yes.
I could tell this by the fact that you've stopped moving your models.
That's right.
Right? Are you going to shoot me now?
Yes.
With some guns.
However, you could do reactions if you chose to.
Oh, that's a thing, isn't it?
Yes. So instead of stratagems, Heresy has reactions.
Yeah.
And there are 2 standard reactions in the movement phase, the shooting phase, and the charge phase.
Yeah.
In the movement phase, the 2 standard reactions are you can move closer to me if I'm within 12 inches, or you can move further away from me if I'm within 12 inches.
Okay.
And your movement is dictated by your initiative. So
Okay.
for example, in this instance, you could choose to react with the bikes and move backwards 4 inches,
Yep.
trying to get further away from me from possible charge. In addition, these also could move back. He could move forward, he could move back.
What about counterfactually? Can they move forward? Could I move forward my 4 inches to get us a little bit closer?
Am I within 12 inches?
No.
So no, they cannot.
Is it a CP thing, or do you just do it?
So you get 1 reaction per phase.
Right, okay. And you pick the one that you want.
And your Warlord will give you an additional reaction in a phase that's stated in the Warlord trait, but we're not going to do that.
And there are armies that you do get an army-specific one, which happens in a specific phase.
The advanced reaction.
Yeah.
Again, we'll table that until tonight.
Right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just move these guys forward a little bit, because I am definitely in 12.
Yes. And you have to move directly forward or directly back. You can't you can't pivot.
No pivoting.
No pivoting.
Well, that's the weird thing is, because you've got the push-through stratagem, which you have in AOS now, but you can move in any direction. But the wording suggests that you're pushing through the other side.
Right.
You were pushing through last night after all that cheese.
I was. I did have to do much pushing.
I saw what happened in that bathroom earlier.
I bought
a lot of pushing
I bought
through.
some super quilted toilet rolls.
Did I
today.
know this? You bought the fancy stuff.
Yeah.
Looking after Joe's bum.
Okay. So now we're going to do some shooting.
Yep.
These lads have bolt pistols.
Nice.
There are 5 that can see you.
Nice.
And so we're going to roll that. Now what that means is later on, when we get to the charge phase, this will have to be the unit that I charge primarily.
Yeah. Like the good old days.
Are you charged with your shot?
Yeah.
So 3-ups.
But it does also mean that if you kill the target you've shot at, you can't charge anything.
You cannot redirect the charge.
And the rolling to hit is based on a ballistic skill now.
So yes. So again, for those that played 6th and 7th, this would be familiar. For those that are new to Heresy, ballistic skill is a number. In the case of Marines, it's a ballistic skill 4.
Yeah.
So you subtract 7 from the ballistic skill to get to the number that you hit. So ballistic skill 4 is a 3, ballistic skill 5 is a 2, ballistic skill 3 is a 4.
Yeah.
So a little bit different.
But when you buy the books, they come with this little sheet that has
Handy dandy.
handy dandy. And you get 2 if you've got a friend.
Hawk 2.
I need a friend.
We're your friends, John.
Yeah, we're your
Yes.
friends. Live in England.
I should.
Yeah.
I should move here.
You should move here.
We were talking about it. on
Live in the
Tuesday.
New Forest.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know he boasts about the freedom, but that might change at the next election.
Yeah.
He might-
Yeah. Actually,
Here's my 10-foot pole, and I'm not touching it.
we don't do politics on this channel.
Not touching that one with a 10-foot pole.
It was wise.
All right, so we have 4 hits.
Yeah.
The strength of the gun is 4.
Yeah.
Your toughness is 4.
On a bicycle?
They didn't get everything right in Heresy.
No.
They did not get everything right in Heresy. All right, so it'll be 4s to wound you because our strength and toughness is equal.
Yep.
Okay.
You have wounded
so,
me thrice.
unlike you, I have wounded you 3 times.
Okay.
Now, in Heresy, there are no modifiers for armor saves.
No.
We use the AP system,
Yeah.
which is a binary system.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, if your armor save is equal to the AP of the weapon, or the AP of the weapon is lower than your armor save, it negates your armor
Yeah.
save.
Because it's so powerful, it literally just bores
It just
straight
bores
through.
right through your armor.
Yeah. So, but a bolt gun
Is AP 5.
Yeah. So it's really good at killing guardsmen.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're a 3-up save, so you'll still get your full save.
Threes. I have failed 2.
You have failed 2.
How many wounds does a bike have? Is it 2? It's not, is it? It's 1 wound each, isn't it? I think for bikes.
The jet bikes are 2.
Yeah. I think the little scouty bikes are only 1 wound.
I believe they're only 1 wound. We don't use them that often.
The Outriders. They're really, really cool models that Games Workshop need to do a plastic kit for. But the weird thing, these kits are really nice, but it's a resin kit based on the plastic existing kit, isn't
They
it?
only have 1. Yes. Well, they did do plastic Outriders. They just did them in 40K and they called them Primaris.
That is true.
So don't take the plasma gun.
Yeah.
All right, so they have finished firing.
Yep.
You've taken your damage.
Yep.
Now we move on to the next. We're going to fire the combi bolters.
Yep.
So the front 2 are in rapid fire. The back 3 are not.
Yeah.
Combi bolters are 2 shots twin linked when
Yeah.
you're in rapid fire, and 1 shot twin linked when you're not in rapid fire. So I'm going to roll these.
Yep.
3s re-rolling because they're twin linked.
I like twin linked big re-roll hits.
It makes more sense to me.
Yeah, because you're firing lots and lots of bullets. Whereas
It used to
in
be twin link. It used to be real hits in the past.
Yes.
Even up until quite recently, actually.
Yes, it was only 10th that they changed it.
yeah,
So the toughness of the Dreadnought is 7.
Yeah.
The strength of my bolt gun is 4.
yeah,
So I need what to wound?
strength 7, toughness 4 is a 6.
That's right.
There we go.
We use a different strength and toughness chart than 40K does. So no wounds.
Yeah,
Does it still have the 7th thing where you can't wound it? If
Yes.
It goes so tough?
So generally, if the toughness is double the strength, generally, not always, you can't wound it. So strength 4 cannot wound toughness 8. However, strength 3 can wound toughness 6.
You mean a lasgun couldn't take down an Imperial Knight Rifle?
yeah,
No.
because toughness strength 5 can't wound toughness 9,
Right.
but strength 4 can wound toughness 7, but not 8.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
So that also will get to why certain guns cannot harm vehicles when we
Yeah.
get to vehicles in a little bit.
That's because it means I think I miss about 7th edition. I love about Heresy. Is an anti-tank gun is good at killing tanks, and it's very good at killing infantry. But normal infantry guns can't hurt tanks.
Generally not. Generally not.
What time to be alive? Oh,
Or you have to be carefully positioned to the rear of a vehicle.
Yeah, it's like when you manage to slip behind someone and
That's
they're like,
right.
"Oh no!"
Yeah, but you got told to stop doing that in pubs.
Yeah.
The Praetor is going to fire
Well, they don't have cameras in the toilet.
his combi Melta.
Yeah.
We're not going to use the Melta profile. We're just going to fire the regular combi.
Oh.
He has ballistic skill 5,
Yeah.
so he'll need 2s.
Nice.
He wounds or hits,
Yeah.
and he'll need a 6 as well. No.
Are the combi weapons one shot?
So there are 2 types of combi weapons
Yeah.
in Heresy.
Yeah.
Major combi weapons and minor combi weapons.
Yeah.
The major combi weapons are ones like a melta gun and a plasma gun.
Yeah.
They can only be fired once. If you have a combi flamer or combi volkite, they can be fired multiple times.
Okay.
But you cannot fire both profiles
At the same time.
At the same time.
I like it.
You must choose one.
I like it.
So in this case, he has a combi melta. He would only be able to fire that one time,
Yeah.
which is why I'm waiting to fire that.
At the tank.
Or if the Dreadnought gets closer,
Yeah.
because if I'm in with melta range of the Dreadnought, I can reroll wounds.
Oh, nice.
But I'm not because I'm not halfway
Yeah.
there. All right. The tactical squad
Ooh.
will also fire at the Dread.
Yeah.
Nobody's in rapid fire range, but they're all within 24, so we'll do 10
Can you still
shots.
do, is it Fury of the Legion? Or
You
something?
can.
Yeah, which is like you shoot twice, don't you? Twice, or you
In
get-
first edition, it was. In second edition Heresy, you just get an additional shot.
Okay.
But you have to remain still in order to do that. So they moved. So
I
they
remember a
cannot
time
fury.
people would just rhino rush towards people, have their rider destroyed, and then in their turn, just be like, I'm out of the vehicle now.
Yes.
Like remaining stationary.
Yes, and then they would just blast you with 4 shots each. Yeah.
I was that guy.
Imperial Fists were good at that because they hit on 2s with bolter weapons.
Yeah.
So, all right, 10 shots, 3s. So lots of hits.
Nice. Nice.
And now we're fishing for 6s. Nothing.
These dice aren't rolling 6s today. I rolled 1 6. So,
They were rolling 6s earlier.
yeah.
All right, let's move on. So now we're going to fire the Dreadnought.
Yeah.
The Dreadnought has a plasma cannon.
Yeah.
We're going to fire it at the Terminators.
Well, I see looks like, why are you laughing? Why are you laughing like a little girl?
Pardo's just turned up. Hey, Pardo. And
Awkward.
Stick Monkey that says best Heresy channel on YouTube. Wee Man that said only Heresy channel on YouTube. And then Cass put, poor Pardo, the channel about to become relegated to second place for Heresy content. Poor Steve. Love you, Steve.
Love you, Steve. One day I shall go and spend time on that boat.
Pardo.
I've been looking at flights in September, October time. It's much cheaper to go over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And you won't sweat like
Oh yeah.
Joe at Playgroup.
I will come if Pardo takes me on a tour of all the places they filmed License to Kill. Was it License to Kill or View to a Kill?
Those are 2 James Bond movies.
Yeah, he's like climbing up and then like a bunch of people get killed and he parachutes and lands in the top of that boat with a sexy lady in it.
You caught me out, chat. I was mid with nuts in my mouth. Ooh.
Oh.
That was Timothy Dalton. So
Yeah, License to Kill.
License to Kill.
Yeah.
Yeah. He only made 2.
Yeah.
So I can't remember the second one.
We'll get to those
View
super chat
to
people in a
it.
minute.
No.
Don't worry.
On the View to a Kill. Living Daylights was the
Yes,
second one. But that was
Yes.
based in Russia. So.
that is true. All right. Do you remember this?
That's a big blast.
Blast template!
It's a template.
Yeah!
Is that from a plasma cannon?
This is from a Gravis plasma cannon. So the
All
Dreadnoughts typically have...
The door's
Hello.
opening.
That's all right.
Just doing your fire alarm testing.
Okay.
We're in the middle of streaming at the moment, but it should be fine.
Yeah?
We have weird noises going off all
Don't
the time
worry,
in here.
we all have our clothes on. It's
Yeah,
fine.
it's fine.
We're not filming anything weird in here.
Yeah.
It'll just go for a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
All right then.
After 10 o'clock is OnlyFans. All right.
So that was the fire testing man that's just walked in.
Yeah.
Yes.
The fire alarm is going to go off, and you will all go deaf for a period
seriously?
of time.
Yeah. That's why I got my fingers on the mute buttons right now. The second
Yeah,
it goes
so
off.
as soon as it goes off, Liam's going to mute it, and we're going to be like doing some moving and stuff, or I'll be like, ah, as my tism explodes, and then it'll be fine.
Yeah. I'm so glad they told me they were coming.
Yeah, we didn't know.
Because normally I deconflict. I'm like, if you can show up on a Monday, it's fine.
Yeah, show up on the day that we're not here. Liam's on the wrong chat on the wrong screen. Oh, we're really professional with our cameras on here.
You said it was Garage Hammer.
It was.
All right.
So you're going to fire a Gravis Contemptor plasma cannon.
That's
Dobby.
right.
Yeah.
Has a range of 48.
Yeah.
Strength 7.
Yeah.
AP 4.
Yeah.
Breaching 4 up.
So breaching, as you explained to me earlier, means that on a 4+, it becomes AP 2,
That's right.
like rending.
That's right.
Yes,
Like rending, but doesn't get the additional strength of rending.
but not rending.
So you're within range.
Yeah.
We now have to center the template
Yeah.
over a model.
Oh,
So I'm
my,
going to center that here.
my leader, man.
Does it get to be centered on the model, so it can be anywhere on the base?
Well, it has to be centered over a base. It has
Okay.
to cover the central hole has to cover a base.
We're going to roll the scatter dice on the table because it just makes it easier.
So if you'd be a lad and hold that for
I
me.
will be a lad.
Look at that, chat. It's like an actual thing explodes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
What did you roll? A double.
the
one?
way that this works is you roll a scatter die.
Yeah.
Because it's a big blast weapon, it
Yeah.
may scatter. So we have this, which is called a scatter die. And don't worry, it's not going to scatter because of what I rolled. It has 2 hits, so if it hits, he doesn't move it at all. If you roll an arrow, you would move it in that direction based off of what you rolled on the 2d6 minus the ballistic skill of the Contemptor. So for example, let's say I had rolled a 9 and it was going that way. He's ballistic skill 5. I would remove the 5
And go 4 inches.
and it would move 4 inches and hit there.
Yeah.
So, but because I rolled a 2 and his ballistic skill is greater than what I rolled, it doesn't scatter at all. And
They
in
took these
effect-
away from 40k players. 'cause
They did.
We're all argumentative children.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
People just couldn't handle it.
No.
They had to have
Bickering
certainty.
over millimeters of a base being touched.
So that will in effect hit everything under the template.
Yeah.
So that is
That is all of them.
6 models.
Yeah.
Strength 7 on toughness 4
Yeah.
is
The
what?
toughness 4, Terminators.
Yeah, toughness 4.
It's fine.
They do
Toughness, strength 7, toughness 4, I'm guessing is. It's a 2!
have- it's a 2.
Oh my god.
Now they do have 2 wounds.
Yeah, thank god.
So
And this isn't instant death because it's not double.
oh,
If-
you mentioned it's in death. I was
Yeah.
gonna wait to mention that.
Oh, that's fine. We'll get to that later.
The sound is out, so it won't go off.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you.
okay. No one's gonna go deaf today. That's great.
Yeah, we don't need to mute you now.
Uh-oh.
Oh. I got lucky. It must be so weird for people like that. It's like, oh, I went to this place today, abandoned building, apart from 3 bearded guys filming, playing Toy Soldiers.
Yeah.
To the normal people, we must be right.
You're not going to
creeps.
believe me, wife, what I'm about to tell you.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm not used to playing on stream.
all right.
So I did that wrong.
That's
Okay.
fine. That's fine.
All
So,
right.
so you rolled 2 1s. They fail still
Yes.
because 1's always a fail,
Yes.
right? And you rolled 2 4+s, which means that the AP, the armor penetration, goes to 2, which means I wouldn't normally get a save.
Because the armor of a Terminator is a 2 up,
Yeah. So I get my invulnerable save on those,
which is a 4 up.
which is a 4 up.
Yep.
And then these ones are wounding me on a 2, but less than 4.
That's
so they're
right.
AP 4.
Yep.
So I still get my 2 up save.
That's right.
So I can choose how I roll these.
That's right.
All right. So my 2 up saves first. Are fine.
Ooh.
I'm going to roll this opposite. I'm going to roll less
got
than,
that
I'm going to
back.
roll less
Yep.
than 4 now for my invulnerable saves. There we
Oh!
go.
So you take a wound.
I take a wound. So I'm going to use this little dice here on the man at the back. Oop.
Yes, because we're going to count that as a command squad of Terminators, so they have 2 wounds.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
I also have a combi bolter in my power fist,
Yep.
so I will fire that 1 time. I will hit.
Yep.
Strength 4 on toughness 4.
4s.
1 more wound.
1 more wound. A 2+ save because this is AP 5.
Oh!
Oh, killed him.
You want to spend a command point and reroll that?
Oh, I'd love to, but you're going to tell me I can't and then laugh in my face.
Oh my God.
What?
I just had a phone call. So you know he came up and said to us, I've removed the sounders so the alarm won't go off. Super helpful, mate. Thanks, because we're live. What he didn't do was tell the fire monitoring station that he was doing a test. So she just phoned me. She's like, your fire alarm's going off. I was like, I know. There's a guy here from Hampshire Fire Protection doing the testing. Well, he hasn't told us.
Yeah.
I'm aware of that because you've just phoned me.
Yeah. So don't worry, they didn't tell us he was coming either. So
At least he's consistent.
yeah. Yeah.
All right, so the Dreadnought is finished firing.
Yeah.
Now we're going to move on to the Saber.
Yeah. I get a feeling that you really like sabers.
I do. They're very good.
They're really cool.
They're very good. They're cool little tanks.
Yeah.
They move really fast. They move 16 inches. And they can outflank,
Yeah.
which we'll talk about later
Can you
tonight.
turn any time during your movement as well?
You can pivot to your heart's content. And you know what it doesn't do?
What, reduce your move?
Doesn't reduce your move. Oh, wow. Doesn't reduce your move.
Because a tank has tracks, right? And they can go in different rotations. So they literally just go whoop and madness.
I feel like this week we might have been really negative 40k.
Games Workshop's going to be like, are you okay?
Where on the dial did 40k touch you?
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Especially the mouth.
No, I love 40k, but I love this game too.
Yeah.
So
But this is better.
okay, so we have the same weaponry that you do.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to fire the autocannon at your other saber.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about armor values, which is very different than
Yeah.
40k.
Yeah.
Vehicles do not have toughness in Heresy.
No.
They have armor values based on the facing and
Yeah.
based on the value. So in this case, sabers have a front armor of 12,
Yeah.
a side armor of 11, and rear armor of 10.
Yeah.
So that means front armor, side armor, rear armor.
Yeah.
Based on where the weapon is firing and which facing it is against,
Yep.
will determine what you need to roll
And
in
it's
order
like a
to damage the
you
vehicle.
basically like draw a cross, don't
That's
you?
right.
Across it, and then like you're
That's
in
right.
that one.
So if, for example, the saber were here, it would be firing on the side armor.
Yeah.
If it were behind, it would be firing on the rear armor.
Hmm.
So
Because realistically, you'd put all your armor at the front because you wouldn't intend to be
That's
shot
right.
in the bum.
They're like actual main battle tanks.
Yeah.
generally speaking, the front armor is higher than the side or
Yeah.
the rear. Unless you're a land raider, in which case it's just 14 all around.
Because that's designed to be in the middle of all
That's
the
right.
problems. Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to get into why the heavy bolter can't harm this vehicle in a second
Yeah.
when we do this. So, I'm going to roll my 2 dice from the autocannon, needing 3s, twin linked.
We're demonstrating how twin linked works. That's
All
what
right,
we're doing.
so we got 2 hits.
Yep.
The strength of the gun is 7.
Yeah.
The front armor is 12.
So you have to roll a 5 to glance, 6 to pen.
That's right.
Oh.
So glancing and penetrating are also concepts that don't exist in 40k today.
Yeah.
Because when you roll to damage a vehicle, there's a chart that you roll on if you get a penetrating hit, which will cause different types of damage based on what you roll against the table. Right?
Yeah.
Vehicles do have hull points, which are kind of akin to wounds.
Yeah.
So if you do a glancing hit, you will remove a point of the hull points. If you reduce the hull points to 0, the vehicle is wrecked.
Okay.
Penetrating hits, in addition to removing a hull point, will also do additional damage on the table.
Tight.
So let's see what we get.
So he's rolled to see if you wound it first.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
feel like there's a lot of build up.
let's pretend. Let's pretend for a second that I rolled a 6.
Yeah.
Right? If I rolled a 6,
Yeah.
that would be what in terms of
A penetrating hit, wouldn't it?
Right, because it would be 7 plus 6 is 13,
Yeah.
which is greater than your armor.
Yeah.
So in addition to taking a hull point and taking you down to 2 hull points, we'd roll on the damage table.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hypothetically roll on the damage table
Yeah.
and
A
roll a
4.
4.
So a 4 on here. So a 1 to 3 is crew shaken, which means that the vehicle can only shoot snapshots, which is
That's right.
hits on hits. 6 is a 4 is crew stunned, which means you can only fire snapshots, and the vehicle
can't move.
it can't move because the people inside are like something can hurt us.
I'm stunned.
Yeah.
And you would
I'm so stunned right now.
be down to 2 hull points.
Yeah.
So
And then on a roll of a 5 is a weapon destroyed, and a 6 is a 6 is immobilized. Stop waving my arm around everywhere. And then 7 plus is just explodes.
So there are certain types of weapons
Yeah.
that get additional modifiers to the table, because obviously you can't roll a 7 on
Yeah.
a d6. So this is where AP comes into damaging vehicles.
Yeah.
So if the weapon that you fired at the vehicle has AP2,
Yeah.
you get +1 to the damage table.
Okay.
If you fire an AP1 weapon, it'll get +2.
Oh, nice.
So that will make it'll make it able for you to explode the vehicle and destroy it,
Yeah.
regardless of how many hull points it has left. So if I had rolled a penetrating hit with a melt-a-gun on that, which is AP1, and I rolled a 5 on the damage table, even though you would still have 2 hull points left theoretically,
Yeah.
it just obliterates the vehicle altogether. So
An anti-tank gun that kills tanks.
I know, yeah.
Because a melter gun in 40k is literally useless.
it's a little bit different
Yeah.
in what it does. It's a little bit
It's an
different.
anti-heavy heavy infantry gun more than it is an anti.
Yeah,
like,
it's a
anti-tank
heavy medium infantry eliminator, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're a Sisters of Battle, in which case you're just wiping out everything on the table because you can cheat and roll 6s for damage.
Oh, it's all out.
So, okay, so we didn't do any damage.
Nope. Sad time.
Now the heavy bolter,
Yeah.
I can fire it at the vehicle. However, it will not do any damage because the strength of a heavy bolter is 5.
Yeah.
The most I can roll is a 6 to add to the 5, which gives me 11,
Yeah.
which does not equal or beat the armor of the saber. So
Yep.
basically, it is completely useless. And in 40K, or in Heresy, with limited exceptions, you cannot split fire.
No.
We'll talk about some of those exceptions later on, but for now, this vehicle, everything has to fire at the same thing.
Yeah.
So-
Which is why you find in Heresy a lot of units all have the same gun because it kind of streamlines their purpose on
right.
the table,
That's right.
which is good.
Yes, you need to be very thoughtful and tactical about what you put on your vehicles.
Yeah.
Because if you put a bunch of anti-infantry on with a bunch of anti-tank, something's going to be wasted.
Yeah.
There are opportunities to split fire in Heresy, though, but we don't want to get into too much detail here and confuse people too much. So we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
All right, so we have completed shooting.
Yeah.
Okay. Since I did casualties, we need to do a check to see if you need to fall back.
Oh.
Because in Heresy, there is the possibility to be pinned. There's a possibility that you have to fall back. There's a possibility that you can be routed in combat. And that's all tied to leadership. In this case, we have to look at the damage that you've taken from the shooting phase. If you've taken 25% or more casualties of your unit size,
Yeah.
you must take a leadership check to see if you're going to fall back.
Okay.
So when we look at the Terminators, you only lost 1 out of 6, which is not 25%. So
No.
they do not need to take a leadership check to see if they fall back. If we look at the bikes, you lost 2 out of 5. That is greater than 25%.
Yeah.
So you will have to test on leadership. Your sergeant is leadership 8. You will need to roll under or equal to his leadership.
So 8.
So you rolled a 5.
Nice.
You're good.
We're brave.
You're very brave.
brave.
You hold your leadership. Again, different than how 10th edition works now
Because it's
with
the opposite,
leadership.
isn't it?
Because it's the opposite.
Yeah.
Because they thought it would be more intuitive for you to roll over a number.
Yeah.
In this case, they want you to roll under a number
Yeah.
because I do believe that people thought that the higher the leadership, the more
Yeah.
the army felt like it, that was the commander if he's leadership 10 versus
Yeah.
leadership 4,
Yeah.
right? So I understand why they made that change in 10th. Because kids these days with the TikTok and the not doing the math and all that kind of stuff, you really got to spoon feed it to them. But for those of us that wear the big boy pants,
Yeah.
we can handle two thoughts that might
Yeah.
not necessarily line up together in our head, be a little bit of cognitive dissonance, so
Yeah.
we can handle that. So in this case, you will not fall back.
Stupid youths. Yeah. Running
All right.
around in their TikToks and their raps.
That's right.
Yeah.
On the Facebook and the Instagram.
Yeah. So you're going to charge me now?
Yes.
With your charging stuff?
So now we go to the charge phase.
Yep.
So we look for anything that I want to charge that's within 12 inches. We'll start here. These guys are definitely within 12. I fired at this unit, okay?
Yep.
So I will attempt to charge them, okay?
Yes.
Now, here we go with reactions again,
Yeah.
right? We did skip over the reactions in the shooting phase, but that's okay. We'll get back to that. You have 2 possible reactions that you could do.
Right.
One is Overwatch,
Yeah.
which you fire at your full ballistic skill.
Okay.
Not snapshots, your
Yep.
full ballistic skill. Or you could attempt to disorder my charge by holding the line.
Yeah.
So disordering the charge means I will not get the +1 for charging. So in Heresy, just like you used to in 40K, when you charge, you get +1 attack.
Yeah.
Unless the attack is disordered. And there are multiple ways to disorder
Okay.
a charge. This is one. So you would take a leadership check. If you pass the leadership check, you could disorder my charge and remove the +1
I might
attacks.
shoot at you.
Or you could shoot me.
Yeah. So do I have to take a leadership test?
No.
No?
For snapshots, no.
Okay, so I've got 2 guys with
That's right.
combi bolt guns.
Right. And you're within rapid fire range.
So 2 shots.
So it'll be 4 shots, 2 shots each, 4
Yeah.
shots in total.
And then twin linked.
Twin linked.
So,
Hitting on 3s.
oh, okay. I just hit all the times. That's what I'm going to do.
And you
I-
hit full ballistic skill.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
This is something I mess up a lot when I play Heresy because in my mind it's
Overwatch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then strength 4, toughness 4.
4s.
4s. I have rolled 2 4s.
Okay. So your AP does not equal or is less than my armor save,
Yep.
so I'll get my full 3 ups. And I failed 1. But I get to re-roll that because I brought the armies. So
The lights are on because of him. So
Not just the armies, John.
and then I've
Your
got
plasma gun.
and a plasma gun,
Which is also rapid fire.
which is rapid fire, twin linked. So 3s, both hit. A plasma gun is strength 7.
Yes.
So to wound, strength 7, toughness 4, 2s, like it was earlier. They've both wounded, but I've rolled 3s. So
But they're not breaching.
They're not
So I
breaching.
will get my armor save.
Yeah.
So one more dice.
That's
We take him. There is a concept with plasma guns that Chad might be yelling at me about that I didn't do for the Dreadnought. It has a concept of gets hot.
Yeah.
Right? Because the plasma gun is a powerful gun.
Yeah.
It's a little unstable to represent that. If you roll a 1 to hit, it will cause a wound on you at the weapon's AP. So if you were to roll a 1 in there,
Yeah.
you would also have to roll an armor save, and you'd be okay.
Yeah.
Because I fired the plasma gun, because it's a scatter die, right?
Yeah.
It's not necessarily like I'm rolling to hit in the normal way.
Yeah.
I just take 1d6 and roll that. And if I'd rolled a 1, I would have taken a point. I would have had to make a save. So, chat can
remember.
shut up now. So,
Yeah, chat.
I haven't seen anyone say anything about it, but
No.
to be honest with you, John, I mostly just fucking ignore them anyway.
He does.
Especially when it's rules based.
You should hear what he says about him.
I'm like,
well,
tell you what,
Pardo's in there, so he might be yelling at me. So,
he's taking notes about you. Yeah.
you know, Pardo, if it was easier to get to you, I'd visit you too.
Yeah.
He's already said in chat, it's only 3 hours.
What's that?
3 hours on a plane from here.
From here, but I have to hop on another plane.
You would,
Yeah.
I would.
And then you have to get on a boat. And
I'm
then,
extremely lazy.
and then you have to swim.
But he also said he'd only visit people he liked anyway, so. Yeah.
That's fair.
Okay, so now I'm going to roll 2d6 to determine my charge
Yeah, for your assault marines.
for my assault marines.
Yeah.
Because they move 12, I get +2 to the charge, he said, not confidently.
I mean, you're only 5 inches away.
I am. Now, there's none of this within an inch shit.
Yeah.
You got to get base to base,
Yeah.
up close and personal, or the charge fails. So I rolled a 6, even
It's
with...
amazing how many people have an argument with over half an inch. Mainly
I do it with my wife all the time.
Yeah. But I'm like, they're like, oh, I'm in half an inch. So I'm like, you're an inch, but it's fine.
Tell my
You're ready
wife
for
that
a
all the
3-inch
time.
pile in.
Yeah.
Half an inch is more than enough. Mm-hmm. It's enough to give me 3 kids. Jesus.
Do they all
tell you-
look like you, though?
Sorry, Liam, you broke up there.
they're all bearded.
Going through a tunnel.
I hope not. He's got daughters, Joe.
It's weird, right? Because obviously
You couldn't have got me Eddie to play against? I mean, honestly.
You wouldn't have wanted to, John.
because obviously Heresy's had a bit of a scale change as well in terms of the models, isn't it?
In what sense?
In the years, in terms of the scale of the models.
Yes, so the more recent marks, yes.
Are more to the 40k kind of
That's
scale
right,
of things.
yeah.
So looking at these assault marines, which are the original resin ones,
They're Eddie sized.
they are Eddie. Yeah.
Yes.
And what's mad is that like those were like top tier models when they were. I remember when those came out. I was like, oh, I need to get some of those.
Mm-hmm.
I've got friends who've got Heresy armies that are still on the 25mm bases. Liam's got his hand up.
You rolled a 6-inch charge,
Yes?
but aren't you 2 inches further away?
Oh,
Yeah, but he gets +2.
I get +2.
So you got 8 inches, but you're... How far away were you?
He was 6 inches away.
Well, no, I was 5 inches away.
So it's okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because there's the tile. The tiles are 2 inches. So I looked at the table. It's like, well, he's halfway on that tile, and there's 2 tiles in front
And
of
he
him.
gets +2 inches to his charge because of his speed.
Because of the base movement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he gets 7, but he'd need a 6. So
Okay.
I don't know.
But they are correct. You are 2 inches further away because
Yeah.
Alpha Legion.
In fairness, we've been completely ignoring the Legion rules. Because I wasn't giving myself +1 ballistic
Yeah,
shield.
okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So
Okay.
Yeah, next turn.
it's okay. That's
Yeah, when it's my go.
When we're playing
Yeah,
properly tonight, Joe will definitely get all of his rules right.
why we need a warm-up game.
Exactly, we're learning.
Why we
This,
need
is,
a
this is
warm-up.
literally the learning stream.
This is the learning stream, or the Joe learning passed off as content.
yeah.
All right, so with that,
Yeah.
let's attempt to charge.
Your Terminator's here.
Let's attempt to charge
Or the
over
Dreadnought.
here.
Terminator's a Dreadnought.
Let's start with the Terminators.
So you are how far away?
So I am 9 inches to get base to base.
Yeah.
Which means I need to roll an 11 because
Yeah.
you're -2.
In the dice tray, John. In the dice tray.
Oh fuck.
If we did it on the table, we'd
You
be
can,
all right.
you can see the dice actually on the table.
So I rolled a 9,
Yeah.
which would have been enough.
Yeah.
but is not because Alpha Legion is sneaky.
Yeah. That giant metal coffin running around the table is really stealthy.
Well, someone also said earlier, but I skipped over it, that could it have actually ran in the first place because it's got the heavy keyword?
He'd be -1. He'd be -1 to his run move.
So you'd move 3 instead of 4, right?
Okay.
I don't know about these keywords, Joe. I'm learning.
So he'd have to roll a 12 basically to get to me.
When GW first sent us the Heresy rulebooks before they were public
we were
knowledge,
so excited.
I started to read through the main rulebook and I was like, this is brilliant. And then they sent me the Loyalist and the Heretic books.
Yeah.
And the second I realised that I had to have both of them open at the same time and flick between multiple areas in both books at the same time, I was like, nah, fuck this, it's shit. Now, in terms of the rules layout, that attitude still remains. I think the layout is dreadful. The person who laid out the rules in these books should probably be sacked. But in terms of the actual rules, on the whole, they look.
It's one of those
like
games that's you know the term easy to learn, difficult to master. The opposite happens in Heresy. I feel difficult to learn, easy-ish to master.
Heavy can't run.
Yeah.
So.
Carla said, so why did John choose the Liam channel and not someone else?
What's that?
Carl asks, why did John choose the Liam channel and not someone else?
Because Adrian was putting a restraining order on me because I kept asking for Titans.
See, Sean says because Liam is his favourite, then Carl's like, I want John to say it!
Fine. It's not like you have my children held hostage. Liam is my favorite.
Yeah.
No, Liam is my. You guys are definitely my top channel.
The Garage Hammer Tactics. Or the Chads.
In the
as
UK.
Titans call it.
Yeah, it's fair. Touche. I'll allow it.
You're allowed to like other countries, it's fine.
So, Dreadnoughts are not heavy.
No?
No. Who said that they were heavy?
Is the Leviathan heavy?
The Leviathan is heavy.
Jeremy said it, and then Pardo said Dreadnoughts ignore that, they can run as normal.
Yeah.
There we go. You were fine. You went wrong. Chat were wrong. Again. Useless. Don't worry, we ignore chat most of the time.
Yeah, often.
The amount of times chat will tell us that we're wrong about a rule for a book that we've got in front of us that no one else has access to.
This is why we get Kyle producing there, because he doesn't know the rules either, so no one says anything.
Listen, if somebody tells you they played a Heresy game and they got all the rules right, they're lying.
Yeah. Honestly, John, I think that's the same for 40k nowadays.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
Because it's such a mess. I genuinely think it's the same.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. The rules for Heresy are more complex than they are for 40k.
Yeah.
But that is somewhat by design, because at the end of the day, this is a mirror match.
Yeah.
If you don't add the layer of complexities that the rules bring, right? So if there aren't differentiations around how weaponry works, how Legion traits work, how Rite of Wars work, basically you're just throwing Marines against Marines, right? Which isn't very compelling and isn't very engaging. So the rules, by design, have to engage you at another level than 40k, where you have 30 different types of factions that are all different inherently because they're aliens, they're human, they're superhuman, they're gods, they're metal, whatever. So yes, there is a little bit more complexity than there is in 40k.
I think in Heresy the narrative does a lot of heavy lifting as well.
It does.
Because you see it because the Heresy is so well supplied with books and narrative. You can see it a lot more in your head. You can envision it more. It's like Jonathan Keeble's telling us the story right now.
That's right.
Yeah.
You can hear the
Man,
narrative.
I love that, man. So good.
Well, when we actually put Alpha Legion versus Ultramarines on the table with the Primarchs, right? And we're going to have them fight each other, right? That cinematic experience is very different than 40k necessarily.
Yeah.
It's not that you can't have it in 40k, it's just much more ingrained in the bones of Heresy.
Yeah.
Because of the nature of the game. If you try to play Heresy ultra competitively, you're going to run into some issues where, technically some of the legions are not fully balanced against the others, and you're just going to steamroll a lot of people.
But I don't think Heresy should be balanced.
No.
Because as you said to me, the Night Lords are actually really, really powerful. They're one of the most powerful armies in the game. But I also feel like Night Lords should also be a bit more of a technical army, because they're not an army that picks a fair fight.
Right.
Like if Night Lords are fighting, it's because they know they're going to win, kind of thing. They're not going to get involved. Like if they're outnumbered, they're like, cool, we're out.
Right.
We're done.
And to put that to point, their Legion rule is when they outnumber you, they get +1 to wound.
Yeah.
Or hit. one or the other.
Yeah.
We ban Night Lords because the person that plays them,
He doesn't know how to have fun.
no, he's very. Hi, Jake.
But no, it makes sense. Like I wish like everyone's always pushing 40k to be super balanced, but then at the same time, I always feel like Tyranids should be. I'm biased because I really like Tyranids, but Tyranids should be like much more terrifying than they are because when they attack with the mindset of a swarm.
Right.
They're coming to entirely. So it should be difficult for the person they're fighting against to deal with it.
Yep.
And I feel like it gets missed a lot.
It does.
In the
I mean,
game.
it's hard. I mean, when you think about even Marines, right? When they talk about the fluff, 10 Marines could take over a whole planet.
Yeah.
Well, clearly, we can't write rules where 10 Marines are that strong in a game, or
Yeah.
it's just going to be wiping out everybody
It'd
against
be
them.
it'd be like.
They actually did that
10
one
kilometers.
time.
The movie Marines.
The movie
Yeah.
Marines and White Dwarf 300, they wrote the rules for those.
Yeah.
On a lark, and you could use them if you ever wanted to. We never got around to using them, but it was, I mean, at the time it was crazy. Marines having 3 wounds and rhinos being like armor 14, and the guns just blowing you away just straight out. I mean, it was.
We should try on the channel 10th edition movie Marines. Everyone is a captain in the tactical.
That's how you play your fucking Space Marines anyway, Joe.
Yeah. I take 6 captains because I can. Right then, you
I'm going to attempt to charge your Dreadnought.
with your Dreadnought.
My Dreadnought.
Yeah.
You will be -2.
Yeah.
I'll be +1, so
Yeah.
the net will be -1. So I rolled a 2,
Yeah, you can't
which
see
goes
TV
to a
roll.
5.
Yeah.
So a little bit different. You do a surge move when you have a failed charge,
Okay.
which means you move half the distance of the charge roll.
Okay, so the term is that you rolled a 9-4
Yes.
would move. Do you go 4.5 or do you
They
go?
would go 5.
You go
round
5.
up.
You always round up.
Yep. So they would move forward 5 inches.
You'll say some thank yous, Joe, in the meantime. Will Stewart, thank you for 10 gifted memberships. You're a legend. What a fucking hero. Sam Deacon, thank you for 5. That put us on the 100.
That's amazing.
It's incredible.
I hope that both of you meet in the street randomly, and then Will Wheaton turns up. Just randomly.
Okay. That puts us on 100, chat. You guys you can probably get a few more in.
Not all of these well wishes will make sense, but when it does happen, people will be like, Joe knows the future. It's like when The Simpsons predict stuff. Yeah.
Use some social distancing, I think. Will Wheaton. Do you have a poster of Will Wheaton at home?
No. I loved Will Wheaton as a kid, though.
Did you?
Yeah.
From Stand By Me or Next Gen?
Next Gen.
Okay.
Yeah.
More of a Stand By Me Will Wheaton fan.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
No, I like.
Okay.
That's great.
So that's the charge phase.
Yep.
So now we go to the fight phase.
Yep.
Okay, so again, a little bit different than 40K. We have the concept of initiative,
Okay.
right? Every model has an initiative. This represents how fast they move, react, do types of things, and how fast they hit in combat.
Yep.
So unlike 40K, where the person that charges gets fights first, we will now go through each initiative phase
Yeah.
to determine who fights, starting with initiative 10 down to 1.
Because initiative basically represents the skill of the fighter.
That's right.
Which I really.
How
which I
fast they
miss.
are.
Yeah.
How fast they are.
Yeah.
We're going to get to the skill of the fighter when we talk
Yeah.
about weapon skill in a minute.
I remember playing 7th edition when Lilith Hesperex was like initiative 10.
Yes.
Which was like the fastest thing in the game.
Yes, there were some things that were clearly the fastest in the game,
Yeah.
and Dark Eldar and Lilith in particular was one
I
of those.
really miss initiative. I really liked initiative.
Well, here we go. We're going to do initiative
Should we
right
play
now.
7th edition? We're a 7th edition channel now.
We just play Heresy at this point.
Yeah, play
Mostly
Heresy.
plastic.
7th had a lot of other problems.
One of the biggest things that used to put me off of Heresy was the resin. There's a lot of that's gone now for plastic.
But we're solving that problem. We're
Yeah.
bringing resources to bear.
I like how it's we. I mean, he probably funds GW as well. So.
No. No. It's a group of us. No,
Gets a gay touch on the phone, you're like, it's quiet month this month? Haven't bought a new army yet.
so the Salt Marines have a rule called Hammer of Wrath.
Yep.
Where they get to make it, because they're coming in at you, jumping, right?
Yeah.
They're moving fast.
Yeah.
They're hitting you hard. They get 1 attack at initiative 10 at their base strength.
Okay.
So there's 2 guys in base to base. So
Are they the only ones that can fight?
no,
ones
we're
in-
going to get to the ones that can fight in a minute. These are the only ones that can do Hammer of Wrath, I think. So nothing. It was strength 4 on toughness 4, so nothing.
Okay.
Okay. So now we go to initiative 4. Or
Yeah.
now we go to 9, 10, 11, we go all the way down till we get to initiative 4 because we're both initiative 4.
Yep.
That means we're going to fight simultaneously. So what that means is, regardless of whether or not I inflict wounds on you and you die, those models will get to fight back
Yeah.
against me, right? So in this case now, you would do a pile-in,
Yep.
right? The attacking player would do a pile-in first, right? And so I can't really pile in any closer, right?
I mean,
but you can.
Yeah.
So you would just come in there, right? And those that can fight are whoever is in coherency with the base-to-base models. And
Okay.
coherency being 2 inches.
Yep.
All right. So clearly we have 2 in base-to-base, right? And then we have 1, 2, 3.
Well, the 25. It should be everyone because
Yeah,
it's
it's
25
everybody.
mil bases.
No, they're 28s, but it is everybody. So, but they just get to throw in an attack.
Yeah.
They don't get the full number of attacks. So, okay, it's an assault marine. It has 1 attack base, but it has a pistol and a close combat weapon, which gives them an additional attack.
Yeah.
And they charged,
Yeah.
which gives an additional attack.
So 3.
So they'll have 3,
Yeah.
and then we'll have the throw-ins 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do they get the additional +1? I can't remember.
I think they do.
I think they do. So that'll be an additional 12, plus the 6 is 18, right? So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. I gotcha. Actually, we'll throw 3 of these out because he has a power fist. Well, that'll be a good way to demonstrate different initiative.
Yeah.
Okay, so my weapon skill is 4. So weapon skill is a value here.
Yeah.
It is not a fixed number that you hit on like it is in 40K.
Yeah.
Much like strength and toughness,
Yeah.
we'll have to compare our weapon skills
Yeah.
to each other
Yeah.
in the bathroom later. Weapon skills against each other
Yeah.
to determine what we hit each other on.
Yeah.
However, I'm weapon skill 4, you're weapon skill 4, and in Heresy, they've adopted the strength and toughness chart from 40K
Yeah.
into how the number is affected on the hit. So because our weapon skills are equal, I'm going to hit you on a 4-up.
Yeah.
If you were weapon skill 5 and I was weapon skill 4, I would hit you on a 5-up.
Yeah.
If I was weapon skill 4 and you were weapon skill 8, I would need a 6.
Okay.
So equal, it's 4-up. Higher, it's 3-up. Double or
But
higher,
it's a really
6.
great way of showing off like how better swordsman specific units
Yes.
are in specific characters.
Yes.
So it means that like, whereas in 40K, a Space Marine captain hits on a 2, but he hits on the same as like Lucius the Eternal kind of
Right.
thing, and Abaddon and Gilliman. They're all the same. They always hit on 2s,
Right.
but some of them are better fighters than the other. So this is a much better way of representing that on
That's
the
right.
table. Yeah.
And that also means that when 2 Space Marines captains face off against each other,
Yeah.
they're not going to be whacking each other on 2s.
Yeah.
They're probably going to be whacking each other on 4s.
Yeah.
And
Because they're as good at parrying as they are at attacking.
that's
Yeah.
right. So there is some differentiation based
Oh
on
my
what the
God.
model is attacking.
Yeah.
You also could do challenges. I've elected not to do the challenge right now, just to simplify
Yeah.
one round of combat. We'll talk about
Is that still where
challenges
you
later.
pull 2 characters out?
Yes.
Yeah. Pull them off.
Oh my god!
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Okay. So here come the attacks, needing
Yeah.
4s. Okay. So we'll pull out the misses.
But it also means because you hit on 4, it's because like them fighting, the number increasing. It means that the fighting is less deadly as well. You're not going to just go in and just wipe someone out straight
Right.
away.
Oh my god.
Generally, there
Yeah.
are instances where you will. Okay, so I'm strength 4.
Toughness 4.
You're toughness 4. I need 4s. I have chain swords though. Chain swords have a special rule called shred.
Yeah.
That means I get to re-roll failed wounds. So there are some re-rolls, but they are limited. And more importantly, you have to pay for them.
Oh.
Even though we didn't do points for this, but you know, you get the point. All right, so 4s re-rolling.
Because it shows that a chainsword is vastly superior to a knife.
Heresy.
Heresy!
2, 4, 5.
5.
The AP of this is 5.
So I get
Your
my
save
3-up.
is 3, so you get a 3-up.
And I failed 2.
You failed 2, so 2 bites die.
Oh.
So pull them out and just set them behind
Yeah.
to remind you that they will get their attacks back.
There you go.
Okay.
So I get to fight now.
Now we go to your attacks.
Yeah. So I've got 2 normal guys. So they get 1 attack each.
They might get 2.
The dead guys get to fight?
Yeah, because of the same initiative.
Of course. Oh
Initiative
my
4
god.
fights
Oh
initiative
my
4.
god. Yeah, should we just start selling 40k armies?
Yeah. Because that's why like Berserkers used to be really, really good in 7th because they
we
had
just-
initiative 5.
Should we just go AOS Tuesdays, Heresy Thursdays?
Yeah.
So they have a bolt pistol and chainsword.
Yeah.
So they will get their 1 attack base,
Yeah.
plus 1 for the extra weapon,
Yeah.
and That's it.
That's it. So I hit you on 4s.
Yes.
Because we are the same.
Yep.
Right? And I wound you on 4s.
Rerolling because you have chain swords.
Nice.
Okay.
Ooh. You may have 3 wounds, sir.
All right. Again, I get my full saves. 3 up. So 1 dies. Because that's how I roll.
And I've got a power sword.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So now the sergeant gets 2 base,
Yeah.
power sword, bolt pistol,
Yeah.
extra attack.
So 3 attacks, hit on 4s. 2 hits. I don't get to reroll to wound. So my better strength? Or is it, I still
Strength
strength 4, but I'm AP 3.
That's right.
Yeah. Not that I wounded anyway. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. There's too many of them.
So
Now you get to fist me.
my sergeant has. Okay. So the power fist.
Yeah.
The power fist in Heresy has a rule called unwieldy.
Yeah.
Right. Representing this big, giant, strong power fist. Right. Would slow down anybody that was using it.
Yeah.
So it makes you swing at initiative 1.
Yeah.
So there are some weapons, thunder hammers, power fists, chain fists, that are unwieldy. You're swinging at initiative 1.
Yeah.
So the risk is I could get killed before I swing,
Yeah.
but the payoff is I'm going to hit you with a much stronger weapon
Yeah.
that's most likely going to negate armor saves.
Yeah.
Okay? So I have 2 attacks base for being a sergeant, and then 1 for charging.
Bolt pistol, check. Bolt pistol.
I can't remember if a power fist is a specialist weapon or not. So I'm going to assume it's not,
Okay.
and then double check later.
Yeah.
Again, apologies to chat. I do play this a lot, but I've got 8 editions running around my head, plus the 40k editions, or plus the
18 legions of rules.
yeah. It's
Plus, now he wants to play AOS as well.
yeah. 4s to hit.
He said yes.
Okay,
That's good.
so all ado about nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, good
So
talk.
I lost that one by 2,
Yes,
but I killed one of yours, so I lost by 1. Despite the fact that I.
it is a specialist weapon. So if a close combat weapon has specialist next to it,
Yeah.
you have to combine it with another specialist weapon in order to get the +1 attack.
Okay.
So
like lightning claws.
So we did that correctly.
Yeah.
Okay, so you lost by 2.
Yeah.
Your leadership is 8.
Yeah.
You subtract however many net casualties you took, right?
Yeah.
So you actually did a casualty to me.
Yeah.
So it'll be you took 2,
Yeah.
did 1, -1 to your leadership.
So 7.
Okay,
I failed.
you failed.
Oh.
So now we're going to perform a sweeping advance.
Yeah.
Here comes initiative again.
Yeah.
We're each going to roll a d6.
Yeah.
We're going to add it to our initiative. If I equal or beat you, or if I equal or beat you, I catch you,
Okay.
and you die.
Yeah.
If you
Because you're like
don't,
running away and you're like, stab me in
so
the
go
back.
ahead. Roll 1.
So I've lost. By the way.
Okay, so I have swept him. Now, let's say you didn't. Let's
Yeah.
say you got away.
Yeah.
What you would do is you would roll 3d6
Yeah.
because you have a bike. You would move that distance away from me,
Yeah. I'm like, zoom.
and you would have a chance to regroup the next turn.
Yeah.
But that didn't.
But you ran me down.
And therefore, I consolidate my initiative. Hear that word initiative a lot in Heresy.
But I think it's good because it kind of speeds up. It stops you having these kind of like just big scrums.
Protracted long combats. That is true to a certain extent. However, if you get through the first round of a combat,
Yeah.
particularly if you don't have power weapons and things like that, and people aren't taking a lot of casualties, the combats can bog down a little
Yeah.
bit from time to time. But that gives you an opportunity to run in a support unit to
Yeah,
then
to help
put the combat in your favor.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Tight.
That's the end of end of the
Done.
turn.
Oh, it's in the back round, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Do one more turn.
I don't think you've got time, Joe. It's 15 minutes to go.
I
We've got
want to charge my Dreadnought.
a bunch of super chats to get through. Were you going to get to play a full game tonight?
I want to punch Dreadnoughts.
Well, why don't we just charge the Dreadnoughts against each other?
Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to charge Dreadnoughts.
Okay, you can do that. We've got
Yeah.
some super chats to get through because I'm taking this man out for some dinner.
Okay.
You can then reset the table whilst we're out for dinner.
Is it so? Am I doing so bad you're just ending it early?
No, it's gone. I think it's really cool. I am sat here going, oh, fuck. I really like Heresy.
I told you this was happening, John. I told
Yeah.
you. I said it out loud. John heard me.
Yeah.
I
said
did say no because you've had such a hard one for fucking fantasy.
We've
but-
got a lot of
I
Heresy
know.
models.
For me, at the moment, if I had to take the big size games that GW produce and put them in order of my favourite, I think AOS is probably still top at the moment because of the simplicity of it and the way you can just kind of play beer stroke garage hammer. I would argue that I think the Heresy rule set is, however, better than 40k rule set. The thing that for me Heresy lacks compared to 40k is variety in armies. Like Space Marines, Guard, and Demons, and Mechanicum is about it. Which is very Heresy narrative, don't get me wrong.
But like we said, the narrative does the heavy lifting. So each army has a very specific play style. Like Raven Guard, Blood Angels, Night Lords is
but
very
as a core rule
centric.
As a core rule set, it's better than 40k.
Yeah,
100%, in my opinion.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's say you got the charge off on me.
Yeah.
Well, he probably would have done, wouldn't he? To be fair,
He would have. All right. So you have 3 attacks base.
Okay.
You have 2 close combat weapons.
Yeah.
So give yourself another attack.
Boom.
And you charged. So you have 5.
Yeah.
We are both initiative 4.
Yeah,
so
so
this will be simul.
Okay.
You have weapon skill 5.
Yeah.
I have weapon skill 5.
So 4s. Because it's the same. Fuck. I only hit once.
We're going to have a fucking talk with your dice later.
He does this all the time.
I hype this up so much.
He does this all the time, and tonight we'll go on stream for the main chat, the main game this evening, John, and he'll just fucking roll nothing but 6s the whole time.
What
He
is
lowers
this?
you into a false sense of security.
What is the strength of my big fists?
You'll need 2s to wound.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I did it.
Now, let's introduce a concept called brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal is a concept in Heresy where some weapons cause more than 1 wound.
Okay.
But different from 40k, it's not make 1 save. If you fail, the damage is taken.
Yeah.
It's if you do the wound, you make 2 saves. Because in this case, it's brutal 2.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So instead of me taking 1 save, and if I fail it, taking 2 damage, I will take 2 saves.
Okay.
The AP of that is 2.
Yeah.
That does equal my armor save of 2. So normally I wouldn't get a regular armor save, but Contemptors have a 5 up invuln.
Yeah.
So 5 up.
Oh, I did it. Wasted my time. Are you going to punch me back now? Punch me back.
Yes. So I didn't charge, so I
No.
don't get an extra attack.
No.
I have a gun and a fist, so I don't have 2 close combat weapons.
Yeah. So you just get the 3.
I just get 3. Needing 4s?
Yep.
Good talk.
Oh.
Okay. So these dice
Terrible.
can go over here.
Available from the website soon. Dedicated Duck, thank you for 10 gifted memberships.
Thank you, Dedicated Duck.
Joseph Svensson also gifted 5 gifted memberships. Oh my God.
That
Oh my God, babe.
Oh my God.
Those
Brutal
dice.
3. Joseph says, Joseph and Ed are shouting Brutal 3. Brutal 3.
Oh, right. It is brutal 3.
Oh.
They're all shouting Brutal 3 at me. I don't know what that means.
It's a 4.
Oh, he's a cocker.
So I take a wound. There you go.
I did a wound. Wow.
And this is how we do wounds in Heresy,
Yeah.
just like that.
Oh.
Wait,
And I count up. So you get
Dreadnought
all-
takes a wound.
Yeah. Just the one.
Dreadnoughts have toughness.
Dreadnoughts have toughness, and then you have like 3 wounds, 4 wounds.
They have 6 wounds.
They have 6 wounds.
Toughness 7, 6 wounds.
So you-
Leviathans are toughness 8, 7 wounds.
That sounds like a problem.
Yes,
Dreadnoughts
that's
are
why
a
you have to be careful with Dreadnoughts.
So with Dreadnoughts, like when the game first came out, there were a lot of tournaments where people were just winning because they just bought just Dreadnought Talons. Just multiple units of 3 Dreadnought. Because you can take a squadron of Dreadnoughts, can't you? You can take 3.
You can
I was
take
waiting
you
for
can
you to
take a
start.
Talon.
I was waiting for you to start rolling, glancing, penetrating type stuff, but
No.
No.
Okay.
So some vehicles that used to have toughness or armor values, such as Dreadnoughts and Javelin land speeders, are now toughness.
Because I think it's because when a Dreadnought used to be in combat back in 7th edition and early First Heresy, you always fought the Dreadnought on its front armor value to represent the fact that it just fought on a swivel.
But is there anything that does multiple damage points?
Thunderhammers, Gravis Power Fists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
There are some types of weapons that will do D3 damage to a Dreadnought.
if your strength is
But you can one. So what I'm
your
going to get my
strength
head
is-
around is you can one shot a Land Raider,
yeah.
but you can't one shot a Dreadnought.
So remember what we were talking about before the stream when I said I wanted to get rid of the destroyed result on the damage
yeah,
on the vehicle
yeah.
damage
Okay,
table?
but why?
Now you know why.
Okay.
Because there is that cognitive dissonance of my 350-point Spartan Land Raider with a Ric Flair shield and 14 armor can get one-shotted by a multi-melta, but my land speeder would just take 1 wound.
Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. I found something I don't like.
But a lot of so big boy Heresy of 3,000 points stopped being really popular because it became like a massive arms award, didn't it? Like, I've got 2 Typhons, I win. I've got 2. Whereas, so the Zone Mortalis style, what was it called? Castellan? Or was it just the Zone Mortalis style?
We just call it Zone Mortalis.
So the Zone Mortalis was like 2,000 points, but you were only allowed certain amount of things. Like, you weren't allowed Lords of War, and you were only allowed like 1 or 2 Dreadnoughts.
Listen, Heresy does lend itself to a lot of house rules. Again, because there can be balance imperfections in what they've created here, trying to represent the legions and the different weapons and stuff like that. So there is, and it's kind of funny how some of these house rules have sort of evolved without everybody. It's not like we all got together at the Heresy meeting at the Great Hall Heresy and we all sort of voted on something. It's just sort of evolved. So generally speaking, 1,000 points, 1 Dreadnought.
Yeah.
So if you're playing 3,000 points, generally 3 Dreadnoughts, maybe 4, right?
Yeah.
And you want to be careful. Like, you don't want to bring like 3 Leviathans, right? Like, you want to mix it up a little
Joe.
bit.
I've got 2 Leviathans. I'm repainting into my Night Lord's colours.
Yeah. We talked about night fighting. We're not even going to try and touch night fighting in this game because it can be so punitive to some legions and not to others.
Yeah.
So in my gaming group, we've just gone back to 1st edition night fighting rules. Again, night fighting is a concept that those of you that didn't play before 8th edition might not be familiar with. It limits how far you can shoot. It reduces your ballistic skill.
Yeah.
It reduces your leadership.
But,
it's very flavorful, but can be also very unbalanced.
I know Pardo's put a lot of house rules into the game because they play a lot of Heresy.
So
they're pure Heresy now, aren't they?
Which is a bold. I totally get it, but it's also a bold choice when you're producing content.
I think as a community, if you are all aware of a problem that's not being addressed,
You're a problem.
I think, and you all and someone makes a house rule that works, like changing night fighting rules, and that house rule then becomes just adopted by the community as a whole. I think then it's kind of fine.
Yeah.
If Pardo went to 1st edition night fighting rules, and then Heresy events started using that one, then people were like, well, it's just kind of accepted. And what normally happens is if there's that like cascading effect, Games Workshop might pick that up in like an FAQ and be like, this is how the night fighting rule works now.
Yes.
Because none of you are using it anyway.
In fairness, my group is probably the exception in not using the night fighting rules. I know a lot of groups do, but almost every group has some form of a house rule or some unwritten comp rules. There is a force, or we didn't talk about this, but there is a force org chart in Heresy. So units actually are designated to their role.
Yeah.
Heavy troops are anti-vehicle, right? High-strength weapons.
Yeah.
Elite units are those that are specialized, right? They go in and they do a very specialized task very well. HQs lead the army, right? Troops are your bread and butter, like your backbone. And fast attack are the units that go fast, right?
Yeah.
Well, the force org charts limits you to a certain number of choices you can make for those, right? And there's also minimum choices you have to make, like you have to take an HQ and two troop choices at a minimum.
Yeah.
Now, 40K does have some equivalent in that, like you can't take 3 or more of the same unit unless it's battle line. But I do like the fact that Heresy tells you what the units do.
Yeah.
Right? Because like when you open up a codex now in 40K, again, I'm not trying to dump on 40K. It's a great game. I love it. But like it could be difficult for a new player to sort of figure out like what role does this unit play in the army.
Well, if you look at like something like because of everything can wound everything now, a unit of intercessors with bolt rifles is still technically an anti-tank unit because it hits them on 3s. It will wound them on 6s, but then a lot of armies will have reroll wounds, or they'll have +1 to it. So now I'm wounding on 5s, I'm rerolling, and they're AP1 or they're -1. They're AP1 on their bolt guns, which means that a Dreadnought save goes to a 3 to a 4. So 20 bolt gun shots can realistically kill a Dreadnought. At which point, they're an anti-tank unit.
That's right.
Yeah.
And again, I do like that aspect of 40K.
Yeah.
But I do like this aspect where movement matters, positioning matters.
Yeah.
the type of weapon that you need to bring matters, right? It just brings a different sort of dichotomy to the game, different than 40K. 40K is trying to do a broader audience and a quicker game, right? And they don't want you to take units that don't do anything ever at all, right? Because that could be frustrating.
And your army's specific right of war, so it's army's own detachment, which adds more of the narrative to the army,
right?
Allows you to take more or less of a thing. So if you're like an assault-based company, they'll be like, you can take more assault marines, you can take more drop pods, but you can't take anything from heavy support or fortification.
That's right. So for example, in the Right of War that we're going to do for Ultramarines, I have to take a command rhino.
Yeah.
It forces me to take a command rhino.
Which I kind of feel like something like we kind of missed from like the Space Marines attachments in 40K. And even with the new change to the rules, like Games Workshop put this massive push on battle line units are really important in 10.5.
Right.
When in reality, once you've played the pack, you're like, battle line units are not important.
No.
You don't even need to take them because you can still win the games without them.
You absolutely can.
Whereas if they're gone, you have to take 2 battle line units in your army.
That's right.
Doesn't matter what size it is, you have to take 2. And then by enforcing that would have changed the game much more. Because when I look at my list now in 40K, I'm like, I could put a battle line, but it literally changes nothing to my army. I'll just take more better units.
If I can still kill a unit,
Yeah.
I'm still going to score.
Yeah.
I don't, the bonuses I get to being battle line are irrelevant to the power that the other unit brings.
Yeah, whereas in Heresy, everyone has to bring 2 infantry units or troops choices, and those troop choices are still good at killing other troops choices. They're still good at killing like heavy support infantry units at the back. They can put pressure on elite infantry units. They won't kill them, but they can still cause them problems.
Yes.
So they still have a role, which I really, really like in terms of the game.
So when we play tonight, we're going to play a mission that has objectives.
Yeah.
Not every mission in Heresy has objectives.
Yeah.
But the reason we're going to do that is I want to demonstrate what line does.
Yeah.
So certain units in the game of Heresy, particularly those that are troops-based, have line as one of their keywords.
Yeah.
The only units that can hold objectives and score objectives are those with line.
Oh, that's good.
So it's not like 40K where any unit can hold and score an objective as long as it has OC.
Yeah.
Now, in this case, it has to have line. Any other unit can counter that, contest it, right? But only those that are line can actually score it.
Okay.
And so that is important. And some rights of war grant line to other units beyond just your troop choices and vice versa. So I do think that the way that the missions work in 40K, primary, secondary, and those kind of ways that they engage with you, I'd like to see more of that from Heresy. I think the missions are, they're good, but I think there could be more engagement and more things need to be line and scoring and things like that.
Why are you giggling?
Carl says John should do more teaching. He's good. Maybe charge people like an overpriced fan club.
Sorry, I'm probably putting everybody to sleep.
No. People's comments have been really positive. It's been quite interesting to see because a lot of people that I've seen or spoken to over the course of, say, the last 6 to 12 months, no point doing Heresy. Heresy's dead. Heresy's boring. That's not what chat's telling me today.
No.
There's a couple of people like, no, I don't like it because it's Space Marines versus Space Marines, which is a problem that I've had with Heresy for a while, to be fair. But on the whole, people, like someone said, watching John teach Joe, I've learnt more about Heresy in this 1 hour than I've learnt in every other video I've ever watched, which is really good. But so have I.
Well, then mission accomplished.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well,
That's what we wanted to do.
Yeah. I wanted to learn, but also, basically like we did with...
And Joe's drunk. Most people don't know. He's drunk.
I'm always
Before
drunk.
the streams, I was shocked at how much he drank.
That's how I deal with Liam. The thing is, though, that's what it is. Like, it's not just an education learning for me so we can play tonight, but it's more of a case of like we did on Tuesday with AOS, we're all learning together.
That's right.
Right? But it's also an opportunity for the viewers at home to learn something about another game that Games Workshop produces that they might not have thought about doing. So they're like, I don't know what Heresy is, I don't care what Heresy is, I'll watch the stream because I like the guys, and then they might be like, oh, actually, I quite like this, so I'll give it a go.
So Mike said, John's the first person to make Heresy seem interesting. Coronel Panic says, my local 40K circle has been getting on my ass about getting into Heresy, and this is extremely informative. There's a few
We'll come back tonight.
Yeah,
we're going to do the
7:30
whole
tonight.
thing.
We have a ton of super chats to get through, though.
Okay.
When we go out later, or when you go out, apparently I'm not invited from what Liam said earlier.
You can come.
Yeah, we need to get a stool or some stools.
No, I'm good.
John
I'm
was
good.
like, he's like my back.
the Tylenol, or whatever the fuck you call it over here, helped.
I gave him the Neuromol.
So just really
ibuprofen.
quick for chat.
You doing this?
Yeah.
yeah. That might be why I'm loosened up.
That's strong shit.
So driving on the other side of the road here has been, I don't know what's going on this time. I've usually been able to do it okay, but like the way I'm having to sit in this fucking little compact car that they drive over here has been just hurting my hip. It's not because I'm old. I'm not old. This is just distinguished. But so I needed a little bit of Tylenol to get through this game.
I mean, he calls that little car, it's bigger than Joe's.
My car is much smaller.
Right, so super chats. Oh, you've got to roll some attacks for your Dreadnought though.
No, we're done.
Oh, you've
we
done
we
that?
just
Okay,
did the
cool.
one.
Perfect,
We just
okay.
did the one.
So Stick Monkey, referring to your toilet roll, Joe, he says super quilted. Is that what we mean by must be protected at all costs? Yeah.
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 I wrap myself in it before I go to sleep.
Jill, thanks for the 10. She says, happy heretical horses to all of you from either the past or maybe the future. Hey, John. That's Jill
Hello?
from Thanes.
Oh, Jill from Thanes.
Yeah.
Nurgle Matt's back in. Mr. John MC, I know how to play 7th edition and was good at it. I like Terminators with scythes. Do I auto-win Heresy? Obviously, why or why not?
It depends on what Legion that he's playing, right?
It likes
So-
sides.
With Death Guard, surely.
Yeah, Death Guard.
Oh, Death Guard.
So, right, here's a question for
Ooh,
you, John.
Death Guard.
You've made some comments in the past about my choices on model usage.
I have.
Right. How I like the idea of taking the Chaos Space Marine torso and legs
Yes.
from 40k and then putting the Heresy Legion shoulder pads, arms, guns, heads on them
Yes.
from the backpacks. Because obviously the scale is better,
Yes.
right? Is that okay? Is that acceptable?
Absolutely.
That's fine.
That's not what you said to me!
Absolutely. I zoned out halfway through that.
But, right, but, right, could someone who plays Death Guard run the plastic 40k Death Guard? Because the Terminators are in Cataphracti. Could you not just say that they're a Siege of Terror Death Guard force? Because the artwork for Warhawk has
your hand
got
in the book.
It's got
Put
plastic.
your
No, because
hand
I
in
don't
the
want to
book.
break your book.
No.
Yeah, but the picture of
No.
the picture of Mortarion on Warhawk is just plastic Mortarion.
I think Nurgle Matt auto wins Heresy because he's Nurgle Matt.
Heresy.
So, Nurgle Matt, Death Guard is one of the best legions in Heresy, with some of the toughest Terminators. They have Death Shroud Terminators, right?
They've got Death Shroud in 40k.
We
They
do.
got
but
the
these
plastic.
are better.
They got the
These are
plastic
better.
models for them.
They have 3 wounds.
Oh,
3 wounds.
Yeah.
And they're battle hardened.
What does that mean?
Battle hardened. So we didn't talk about instant death. That didn't come up here.
No.
So if you are hit by an attack that is double your toughness or greater,
Yeah.
regardless of the wounds, if you fail the saves,
You just die.
you just die.
Because a las cannon will just core you.
That's
basically.
right. So if a las cannon were to hit this Terminator, right? The las cannon is strength 9.
Yeah.
The Terminator is toughness 4. If I fail my 4-up invulnerable save, which I just did, despite the fact that he has 2 wounds,
Yeah.
he's dead. However, if you are battle hardened, you get to treat your toughness as 1 higher for purposes of instant death. So in that case, the las cannon hitting a toughness 4 model that is battle hardened, that model would treat its toughness as 5 for purposes of instant death.
Yeah.
Therefore, I would just take 1 wound.
Oh wow.
So Death Shroud are really hard to kill.
Does Eternal Warrior still exist?
Eternal Warrior does exist.
Yeah.
Eternal Warrior means you just ignore instant death
Yeah.
altogether.
Hi.
Yes.
Well, there you go, Matt. There's your answer. You legend.
And they also have Grave Warden Terminators, which you don't have in 40k, thank
Yeah.
you very much, that shoot grenades at you that are stinky.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
I was going to say, talk about plastic models. Medders did some Sons of Horus, and he used 40k plastic.
So anything that Medders does is totally fine.
Oh.
Yeah, as long as he does it and not you.
Yeah.
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 Which, by the way, this Ultramarines army is primarily painted by Medders Miniatures.
Yeah.
He's a legend.
My man Medders. And the Alpha Legion is done by Scars Miniatures Madness. I did not paint any models.
If anyone asks me on how to paint something, I tend to just immediately send them a link from something that Medders has painted.
Yeah, if you want to learn a lot more about Heresy, I would recommend the Heresy Hammer channel, which Rob Medders is a part of, and is also several others, or SM Battle Reports from Pardo, who does full-on battle reports. They're not live, but they are really good battle reports with a lot of really good legions. And
I heard that.
those are my 2 primary go-tos for 30K content.
Yeah.
Big shout out, Alex. Something tells me Joe wants to do more Horus Heresy content. I'm very tempted to go to my FLGS and play right now. I think that's Factorum. I think they used to do Heresy narrative events.
They used to do Heresy narrative. I don't know if they still do. I don't even know if they still play it.
I assume Alex is talking about Factorum, but
Yeah.
love you, Alex. Thanks for the 5, dude. What legend. You should go and play. Heresy looks like a good game. I want to learn.
Obviously, I'm doing Night Lords at the moment because that's what I have the most amount of models for in my Chaos Space Marine army. So I'm just painting them in the Night Lords colours.
Power gamer.
But I also said I want to do.
That is very Joe, though.
What I said about Night Lords is technically a lie.
No, that's Alpha Legion.
Technically a lie, because I do have way more word bearers for dual models in my Chaos army, but I've just flat refused to do word bearers in Heresy.
Heresy word bearer players.
They're the worst.
They sit at the back of the bus.
Yeah. So
Martin, thank you for the 10. I appreciate New Liam is giving us an excellent education on how to play Heresy. However, please can someone drive their tank into someone else's infantry? I'd like to see how that works in Heresy.
Oh, a tank shot.
You want to do tank shock?
I love tank shot.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's do
show
tank
mine.
shock real quick.
No, but what I want to do a loyalist force. I really want to do Raven Guard, but Raven Guard are so poorly supplied in actual units they have available to them. So I'm probably just going to do White Scars because I've got Jagatai.
Jagatai!
So I just need to get all of the plastic bikes. But what I've been told is that White Scars are terrible in Heresy. So
I want to do Dark Angels and Emperor's Children.
we've got an absolute fuckload of Dark Angels Heresy models.
And Emperor's Children.
I would not say that White Scars are terrible in Heresy.
Yeah.
I would say that they are quite binary in Heresy. You're either going to wipe your opponent off the table or you're going to die. So
I like it, 50-50. Yeah.
yes, that was another army that we temporarily had to ban.
Really?
Yeah. Because it was just too much of a coin flip
Yeah.
as to whether you were going to win or not. Like if he got all his charges
Yeah.
off in
The
turn.
thing is, though, some
it was-
armies are better supplied in terms of what units they have access to than others. So, like Sons of Horus and Imperial Fists, Word Bearers, have had quite a good showing from Forge World over the last 6 to 8 months in terms of what they get. Whereas some legions have been flat forgotten about, like Raven Guard.
So whilst we're looking through the rules, we can say thank you to Drew for the 2, who says, "Where's the word bearers, Mr. Mikado?"
They're at home.
Oh, he has word bearers. There you go.
I do.
Because Erebus is the best.
Maybe I should wear my other jersey for tonight with my opinion on Erebus.
Erebus is the best.
He is not the best.
He's a great bad
He is
guy.
the worst.
He's a great bad guy.
So what? Right.
So sorry, really quick. I just have to tell the story really quickly. I've been to 2 Heresy weekenders, right, before they roll them up, and they always had a Black Library panel, and somebody always asked this question at the panel of the authors.
Yeah.
They said, in Heresy, if you could kill any 2 characters besides Erebus,
Yeah.
which 2 would you kill? Because everybody would just start with Erebus, you know? I had 2 bullets, and
I think
shot Erebus
any
twice.
Heresy player or Heresy fan who says they killed Erebus first is an idiot.
He's why
Without Erebus, you don't have a Heresy.
He's why we can't have nice things, Liam.
Yeah.
He's the very definition of
Without
why
Erebus, there
we
is no
cannot
Heresy.
have nice things.
Do you know what Erebus is doing at the end of the Heresy?
No, you cannot tell that story. That is a big spoiler.
You've been told. You can tell me off camera. You can tell me off camera.
Dude, he's right. I'm not.
Can't say it. I will yank every fucking cord out of there.
He tries half the time.
And that's just me
Can't
trying to
say
figure
it.
out how they work. I hate him.
Have we got to tank shock yet? Because there's a few more to get through.
So he's just looking at the rules now. So carry on.
Shout out to Crumpets Panda. Question for the lovely guest: which is the brommiest Horus Heresy army? Same for Liam.
What would be a Brahm heresy?
Right,
army?
there's 2 versions of the brommiest, right? Either the longest, dullest, or the most fucking triad nowadays is probably a brommy army. isn't it? Yeah.
A try-hard army. Imperial Fists might be there. Night Lords for sure. The dullest army that you can play in Heresy. Salamanders are pretty fucking dull.
Yeah, I've been told that before by a guy who pops in quite a lot. Leon.
Iron hands are pretty fucking dull too.
Oh, that makes me sad. I like Iron Hands.
I love Iron Hands. They didn't write a very exciting rule set for them in this current edition. So
I feel like Iron Hands got a bit of a raw deal in the Heresy in general. Like, we need someone to die. We're just like the guy who likes touching robots.
I really like the concept of Imperial Fists, but I don't think I'd want to paint that much yellow.
I want to paint the Imperial Fist army.
Yeah.
Imperial Fists are very, very strong in Heresy because they can increase the cover save of different pieces of terrain, and all of their bolter attacks hit on 2, which quantity has a certain quality after a while.
That's why we do 7 streams a week.
And they also have Sigismund, who is a gigantic bag of dicks. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Into it.
I've still never killed him in like 5 years of playing Heresy.
I can't answer you. Crumpets Panda says, same for Liam. I don't know if he means the Liam Horus Heresy army, or what do I think is the Brommiest. I can't comment on the Brommiest, but I don't know what an army would, I don't know.
World Eaters?
No, I wouldn't want to play World Eaters as well in Heresy, as well as 40k. That'd be dull. But I do like melee.
Dark Angels are good.
I
think you'd enjoy Dark Angels.
Dark Angels are... Emperor's Children might be good for you.
Emperor's Children's always been the one that's sung to me the most.
Emperor's Children is a really, really good, really specialized combat army
Yeah.
that also has some nice shooting to it as well.
Yeah.
My issue is with Emperor's Children and Heresy is they suffer from being one of the earlier ranges released. So
Yes.
their scales are like a little bit off.
Yeah, the Cacophony, which are the Noise Marines, the predecessors of the Noise Marines, are very, very small.
Yeah.
The Phoenician Terminators, though, are some of the best models that they've made.
Beautiful,
and the Praetors that they made are
And the more
fantastic.
recent Lucius, I love it.
The Lucius was very good. The Saltarvitz was relatively good. They need to do another Fulgrim, but Fulgrim Transfigured is amazing and was one of the best trolls of 40k fans ever done when they did that preview.
I also am
It was
actually,
such a
I'm
spit
actually
in
also
the
a big fan of the Eidolon model as well, actually.
Eidolon is a stunning model.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, are we there with the rules?
Oh, you want to do so in a ram attack, you declare the target that you're going to go after,
Yeah.
and then you just move directly forward. So in this case,
Beep, beep.
you would go into that unit.
Yeah.
Okay. So since you're attacking a unit, I can either take a leadership test and sorry, no. Apologies. This doesn't come up that often. I can attempt to do an advanced reaction.
Yeah.
So an advanced reaction is sort of an out-of-phase reaction that you can do.
Yeah.
In this case, death or glory.
Yeah.
So if you remember death or glory from the old days when you were tank shocked,
Yeah.
you stood the one guardsman up there with a melta-gun,
Yeah.
and he tries to kill the tank, and if he doesn't kill the tank, he gets run over. So it's very similar to that. You would pick one model from that unit to be the reactor that was rammed, and you make a single attack with either a melee or a ranged weapon.
Yeah.
So in this case, he has a combi melta. I would attempt to attack with the melta part, and I would roll to hit, or no, it would automatically hit, and then we would resolve the damage against the front armor.
Yeah.
So in this case, we would roll 2d6 for armor penetration because it's in melta range.
Yeah.
So the strength of the gun is 8, plus another 8 is 16.
Yep.
That would penetrate your armor. I would then roll in the damage table, and it would be a 3. So it would be stunned, and effectively the vehicle would
But it's
stop.
a melter, so you get plus.
Oh, it would be shaken. So, or no, it would be stunned. 4. AP4. It would be
Say
no,
P1,
5.
so it'd be a 5, so it goes weapon destroyed.
Weapon destroyed. Yeah. Which, if there's any crew stunned, immobilized, or explodes, then it would remain in play.
Yeah.
And otherwise, it would be immediately removed. And then, basically, what I will do is I will take D6 hits.
But as a weapon destroyed, it doesn't become crew shaken or crew
no,
stunned.
it doesn't, which is unusual.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have any other ancillary impacts.
That's the worst result for you to get
Yes,
if you've done a
pretty
stand
much.
and shoot.
Pretty much. So you will do D6 hits on me.
Oh. 5.
5. And the strength of the attack would be half of your armor value, rounding up.
So 6.
So 6.
Yeah.
So roll those.
So I would need 2s or 3s. 2 wound. I am strength 6. You are toughness 4. 2s. So
many?
I've wounded you 4 times.
4 times. There is no AP of this attack, so I would just get my full saves, and they all save.
Oh.
And then we just back
But
off. We
how
back
much
off an
damage
inch.
would you do with your melter? Because the melter does multiple damage to a vehicle.
Just one whole point and whatever's on the table.
Oh,
if it's a
wow.
penetrating hit. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it better if it's a super heavy?
Yes, if it's a super heavy, you roll 2d6 hits, and it's a strength 10, just flat out.
So you.
Which means you could instant death whatever you hit.
So did someone die then? Did someone get run over?
No. No.
No,
He
you
blew
tip-
my gun off, and then I did no damage to him.
I do think I have to take a morale check, though. Otherwise, I fall back. I pass the morale check, so that's good.
Basically, when it goes wrong, it goes very wrong. But
He stood and shot and got away with it.
yeah.
You can use it to push people back and cause them to fall back. Because when a unit falls back, right, they have to test to regroup the next turn. So if that unit fell back, right, and it would fall back 10 inches, at the beginning of my turn, I would have to test to regroup.
Yeah.
If I pass the leadership test, they basically regroup, but they can't do anything. They can't move, they can shoot,
Yeah.
they can only fire snapshots, and they can't charge.
Do super heavies still have an armor AP value when they do it? Because
No.
I used to do it with a shadow sword. So I'd like ram into tanks, and they'd be like AP2, and you just run over multiple like predators or vindicators.
No. There
was the
used to be something called a Thunder Blitz table
Yeah.
in first edition.
Yeah.
And I think it was in 7th edition as well,
Yeah.
too. So it was only super heavy vehicles that could do it.
Yeah.
If they rammed you, it was similar to a destroyer weapon. You
Yeah.
rolled on a table, and based on the result of the table, you could inflict a lot of wounds.
Yeah.
So I actually, in first edition, and fuck you, Andrew, if you're watching this, he had a Typhon, which was a super heavy,
Yeah.
rammed my Mortarion,
Yeah.
and killed my Mortarion with a Thunder Blitz attack.
That's what we want.
But I'm over it now.
Obviously. Joseph, thank you for the $10. He says Horus Heresy Day. He paid the late fee. Big yerp. He paid the $5 late, the 5-member late fee,
Big yarp.
which is a legend.
Well
Deathwing
done.
Duck, after gifting 10 memberships, said in a super chat, "This is a challenge to all ducks." I got so very confused on a Talking Head stream. I think it was once when there's dedicated duck, Deathwing Duck, and another one that turned up as well, and they were all gifting, and
Daffy?
I got very confused. Jill, thank you for the 10. I have absolutely no idea what the hell is happening with this game, but kind of dig it.
Yeah. It's one of those games that once you learn the rules and as you play it often enough, I think you just put the models down. You don't read, like any game really, once you know it, you don't have to read the books. You just kind of play it and absorb what's happening, which is what you want.
I generally did pretty good. There were only
Yeah.
a few rules I had to look up. Ramming is really not done that often. If you ram two vehicles against each other, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You go against the armor value that you faced, you roll a d6, half your armor facing.
I think,
determine whether or not
But
you do a
vehicles
hit.
are better at killing other vehicles than they ram them.
They are, but remember, you'll take a hit back from the
Yeah.
other vehicle as well, too.
Tonight will be super chill as well. We're not going to do missions. We're not going to do fucking army lists and stuff like that. It'll be super chill, but we're going to just go through because it's actually quite interesting. I find it quite.
Yeah, I think with
We will do a mission just to.
Yeah,
to
we'll
have
do a mission.
yeah.
I won't be putting fancy.
Oh,
graphics
yeah,
up,
no, no.
I think in terms of the rules though, because it is Space Marines versus Space Marines, if there's like 2 or 3 of you who are into it in a group, if one of you knows the rules really well, it'll be quicker for the other 2 to pick up.
Yes.
Because essentially you're all learning the same army that all has the same keywords and abilities. Just how you use them and how you paint them is different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
we definitely have 2 guys in our group that know the rules, which is why I had to spend a lot of time beefing myself up on them because usually I just turn to them and ask them, what does this do again?
Yeah.
And again, in my defense, I've been playing since 3rd edition. I've played 3 editions of Fantasy. I played 2 editions of Heresy. It does become a jumbled mess in here, and I am old and decrepit and suffering from
I'm not
early
gonna
onset
agree with you.
Alzheimer's. So I apologize to anybody that was offended by any rules that I got wrong.
Oh, mate, don't do that. We don't do that.
No.
When we get rules wrong and they correct us, we say, fuck you, chat.
Yeah, nerds.
Dave, thank you for the 2. He says, John, you've been bob on. If you were wank, I'd say.
Was that English?
Yeah. I thought that. He's basically saying you've done a
You did a
top
great job. If you were shit, he'd say you were shit.
Oh,
But,
okay.
Thank you,
What
Dave.
was the thing with the duck? And Bridger was fascinated with that. There was some Aonia duck or
Hey,
something.
up, duck.
Hey up, duck.
Yeah.
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 Is that the duck you were talking about?
no, different duck.
Different duck.
And then Steve, the
Is there a
last
problem
super
with
chat,
ducks in England that I'm not aware of?
the last super chat. Steve, thank you for the 5. He says, how good are Raven Guard Terminators? My FLGS owner has been trying to get me to play the Heresy era Carcharodons in Horus Heresy.
Okay, so there is this concept in Heresy called Exemplary Battles,
Yeah.
where they add specialized units for different legions, usually 1 or 2 units, and it goes through a battle that happened during the Heresy.
Yeah.
So there is, and there are no legends in Heresy. Like there are units that are not in the main rule books, that there is a PDF that covers all those units. We don't legend shit in Heresy, right? If you bought the model, you painted the model, or you're playing the model, you put it together, you can use it. None of this legend shit. So in
Bold
Exemplary,
move saying that, it's still Games Workshop in control.
yeah, they might they might just spite me here.
All right, hold my
just to
beer.
prove me wrong. But the Raven Guard have an exemplary unit called Deliverers.
Yeah.
And if everybody remembers the fluff of the Raven Guard, before Corax was discovered, when it was all Terran Raven Guard, they were closely aligned with the Sons of Horus.
Yeah.
And they fought side by side a lot with the Sons of Horus, and they learned a lot of tactics from them. So there's a specialized unit called Deliverers that is in cataphracti armor,
Yeah.
that is made up of mostly Terran Raven Guard.
Yeah.
That once Corax became part of the Legion and saw what Horus was doing with the Raven Guard, which was basically running them in front of his unit and letting them get shot up, got pissed and left.
Yeah.
And basically left all the Terrans to do their own thing for the Raven Guard and told Horus to go fuck himself. So these Deliverers are some of the best Terminators in the game because they get all the rules for Raven Guard, which makes them sneaky and fast. They get Raven's Talons, which are lightning claws, which allow you to reroll wounds and have basically really good strength and rending and ability to kill. They're 2 wounds each, and they're battle hardened.
Jesus.
So they are one of the best Terminator units in the game.
Yeah.
But because Corax hates them,
Yeah.
you can't put them anywhere near Corax if they're on the same field with Corax. They have to be 18 inches away from Corax when they're deployed, because he hates them. So it's a really cool unit.
Yeah.
I'm actually working with Metters to pull a unit together, because they don't make a model for it, right? And we're actually getting a 3D guy that's designing a cloak of raven's feathers that will go on each of the Deliverers, and we're getting the raven's claws, the raven's talons done on each of the cataphractis. And we're doing Raven Guard's shoulder pads, and it's going to be fucking awesome when it's done. So it's a great unit. I highly recommend you look it up. It's on Warhammer Community under Horus Heresy. Look under Exemplary Battles, and you will find the Deliverers.
Yeah, I have a look at them. Because
So
if I can get cool stuff for Raven Guard. Because the Raven Guard and all the Terran stuff had all like the Maori kind of pattern on them, which they got rid of after Corax turned up.
yeah,
So you
Raven
see,
Guard are one of the best legions out there.
Yeah.
They're a bit of a sleeper. They're a bit of a sleeper.
That sounds perfect for me, is what Steve said. That's amazing. And then Tony Winnick, thank you for 20 gifted memberships.
Thank you, Tony. I
have
hope next time you order a takeaway, it turns up in 10 minutes.
How many memberships are we up to?
Only 135.
I was hoping for 150.
We'll get 150 tonight, John.
We better.
Yeah, we'll get 150 tonight because we've got some cool terrain for tonight.
We could change up the table, because someone asked if the table... So there was a question really early on in the stream. There was a question about whether the terrain being significantly more sparse is something that's,
No.
specific to Heresy, or whether it's just because we left a big open space to show you guys what we were doing.
Yeah, no. Terrain for Heresy is dense.
Yeah.
It's dense.
Yeah. You don't have as much as 40k, but it's still...
It actually tells you 2 pieces of area terrain, 4 pieces of buildings, and some other stuff, and then technically you roll off with your opponent to place the terrain and things like that.
But a lot of people that play Heresy play Zone Mortalis, so a lot of it is based either boarding actions or underground or like in a very dense city.
And it's true line of sight. So if you can, there's not this concept of like walls, like first floor closed or any of that shit. Like it's line of sight.
Yeah.
So
Stephen Witham, thank you for the 10 gifted membership.
Thank you.
what are we, 2 shy?
5 shy.
5 shy. 5 guys.
5 guys.
5 guys.
Are we about to wrap up?
We are about to wrap up,
All
yeah.
right, hold on.
I was going to go get our piece of terrain.
Are you using that terrain for tonight?
Yeah.
Are you actually?
Yeah, because I can't run it in the army because of how powerful it is. I'll move these out the way. So John's got a place to put it. This is John. John had this delivered to us
Do that camera.
Which one?
That one.
This one?
That one.
It's
Yeah.
on that one.
It's not that one.
Oh.
It's on that one. You can see it.
He's so happy. He's
It's
made
so-
a plane noise.
It turned up in this giant Pelican travel case that's designed for artillery, and I was too scared to get it out of the box.
Facts.
All right. Now, if you're not semi-turgid
Yeah,
right now, seeing that on the board,
you could fit
then you're probably a woman.
2 entire
But-
rhinos in the back of it.
You actually can.
The door
yeah.
opens up and it can drive in and out if they're remote control.
It's a big old beast, isn't it?
And the doors on the side open as well. Just to go around. He wants to show off to the world.
Chris Curtis, thank you for 5 gifted memberships. That's your 150, Mr. John. Oh, Awful Gamer, thank you for 5 gifted memberships.
Oh, we're over now.
155.
155. Well, at lunchtime, John,
know, yeah.
John brings the numbers.
Yeah, you can stay.
Sorry,
You're allowed
Eddie.
to stay.
Yeah. Eddie, you're butt fired.
That's
Who?
the
Yeah.
that's the terrain for tonight.
That's
Amazing.
our terrain feature.
Martin, thank you for the 10. He says, thank you, New Liam, for explaining, but deeply disappointed that driving a vehicle into infantry in Heresy isn't an orgy of violent rending death that is also a coin toss of who gets blended.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
It used to be. It used
look,
to be brutal.
They can't all be winners.
Yeah.
They can't all be winners.
But, yeah, I'll make a fancy table that has that on it.
Look at the silhouette.
I know, it's cool.
That is so cool.
Looming.
Wait. No. See, this is why Heresy's so cool, man. It's so cinematic. Do all this crazy shit.
You're in an element right now.
You could go to Element and buy yourself a box set, you know?
How's that for a fucking profile?
Yeah. And sexy, and he's a sexy beast. But surely he's all of them.
Who is?
Alfarius.
Who?
Who? Everyone.
Who?
He is everyone. And Omega.
I am Alfarius.
Yes. We are all Alfarius. Right, are we closing down now?
We are. You people have been amazing. People are screaming about a t-shirt giveaway. We'll do that tonight because we need
Should we
to
start it
go.
off with a t-shirt giveaway?
Because Tom's outside waiting for us to come for some food. So we need to go. We'll do the t-shirt tonight, people. So if you don't turn up tonight, well, that's your own fault. You miss out.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you so much for all the super chats and all the gifted memberships. You people are amazing. Big shout out to John for teaching Heresy.
Yeah.
And doing a fucking good job as
He's
well.
very excited.
He's very excited.
He's like, I just want to touch all the toys. Right.
Right. Thank you wonderful people, for hanging out with us. If you want to see a proper, mostly proper game of
Mostly
Heresy
proper.
tonight, tune in at 7:30. It won't be as polished as 40k. We're not going to have army lists and stuff because we've never done this before, and I have to decide whether this is something we want to invest in the future, which is currently a firm maybe right now. But Joe's definitely like, yes, it is. Joe, you'll be pleased to know I've been messaging GW during the stream. Anywho, thank you, wonderful people. We're going to go get something to eat as we get ready for a stream tonight. Come and join us at 7:30 for a game of Heresy between these two beautiful bastards and significantly more models than you've seen on the table today. John, thank you. You're a legend. There's lots and lots of really kind comments about you teaching on stream as well, which is good. And Joe, people just like you anyway for some reason.
I don't get
why.
it. I don't understand.
Yeah, cool. Right, thank you so much for watching. Hang on, I need to press a button. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye, have a wonderful time.